for a nerf. If Airpunk gets flustered, is it affect his performance?
Do you think he's distracted now?
My dude was locked in. All of his no smile. Ladies
and gentlemen, you guys can find love here with MPL ID, and you guys can get free merch as well from Todak if you find your other half here at MPL during the MPL date cycle. Let's see what she got. Let's see what she got.
Open it. She's gonna open it.
Box it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
There's a code on.
Oh, it's a t-shirt.
That's actually a nice t-shirt. I like that color.
It's just,
the back of it. Is there anything in the back? Cultured by Todak. Johnny, are you cultured?
not yet.
By Todak? Not yet. Not yet. Look at that. Todak grip, man. This is okay.
That's pretty sick, guys. In a good way. Well, so, again, guys, for you back at home, don't forget to come over to the MPL arena. Get yourself an MPL date, because who knows, you might come home with a significant outing, and you will be cultured by Todak. But let's take a look at the keys to victory by MPL.
Let's take a look at it. Good space for maybe to find and bring us surprise picks in the drafting phase. Number one makes sense, and then number two is especially true for Bello. I expect he told me he's going to have a lot of heroes. That's right, has a lot of heroes to show later on in MPL. He said he stays showing, especially up against a lot of rookies in MPL, on the side of BTR. The thing is though, BTR also have a lot of significant picks now in MPL, and they play the real band system with Dolan, right? And they're very prepared to come up with cheese picks.
I heard Tina's a new favorite hero.
Yeah.
What was he?
Like Sora.
Sora. And the keys to victory by Infinite or BTR.
Including aggressive playstyle and follow-up on Niall's initiations. It seems like we're not really going to be focusing on the rookies specifically, but I want to really talk about these rookies, because these rookies, it almost feels like rookies aren't the rookies that usually can. You know, the rookies that need a lot more time to develop, rookies that need maybe 2 to 3 seasons. These are the type of rookies that might just perform out of their minds in the first season. The PLT rookies, Marcel, yesterday. We've already seen, well, we haven't seen Egatizi, but he was also brought out by EVOS. So all of the undefeated MDL players in BTR are now in MPL, including their coach, Niall. He's back in BTR MPL.
So it feels like a similar story to Wings Edo.
Yes, the boss Ryan. Let's see though, because technically it's still very early. I mean, will they be able to follow that up this season with his rookies deployed for BTR?
I feel quite confident.
For BTR?
I just feel confident the rookies.
I'm still very skeptical.
Okay. It's okay. We can play good cop, bad cop. As we take a look at the drafting phase of game number 1 presented by the official game for Infinite. With Korea banned out by Dewa alongside the game. So BTR leveled that out with the boosting on the box here. OB switched that out as well early here by Dewa. I don't see anything out of the ordinary just yet though.
I think we're crazy right now. I need to E-ban here, Dewa. They can technically just remove the first thing to do, they could just go for... I wonder, because thinking about King Zero, right? We're expecting the down to be done out here so that they can pick up the Sora first pick, but maybe they are expecting BTR to just respond to it instantly. BTR earned out the option, and there you go. Again, Theodore is the guy who coached Dolan, so even though we've seen Dolan play these assassins, the box is really good, and Dolan's probably really good at that too. Where's Aronka and Hilda?
Yeah, I mean, technically we're playing on dangerous grounds as well, so you do want to eliminate that factor. We're looking at heroes like Khalid that has done quite well, right? They want to control that early and mid. Well, they were united now. There's so many options open. They're going to go for Fanny, our first win, Fanny.
Right now, no, the bands make sense. Just thinking about me, like, why would they not ban Zion? Why would they not try to set up for King Sora? Turns out they want to go for the family real quick. No Colette, no Phobius. You're taking on as well, BTR. They try to shut down the family or they just play their game because the board is up for grabs right now. They can just go for the meta picks. Seems like you're scared for the I like this answer, right? They respond with the Sora and the Valentina. It seems like they're neglecting the Fanny pressure. Technically, Valentina is okay against the Fanny. Can dodge the skills, is quite tanky enough, and
Clarify.
Terrify as well, which can block the momentum of Fanny. But you want United, what do you want? Do you want to go all in early game formation, or do you want to balance things out in the first phase?
I think the first thing I want to ask is Sora flex or not?
Flex.
So it's still opened up for them to move around. Alright, so they are now having a bit of a puzzle to kind of solve.
I wonder if you want to go through the double fighters as well. Fair's up to grabs right now, and yeah, Sora is Farsa real quick. There you go. That is the fair together with the Farsa. So they have to move into mid lane with the Farsa. Now, just looking at the tanks in front, right? XP and Rome. We'll figure that out later. BTR red through. I think the jungle pick is the safe option to go for right now, but because it's going to get banned out later on. I like that jungle pick, right? Let's die on Arena. Actually do damage. Very good jungle position.
What jungle are we thinking that can fit this? He's picked up the Leomord and Fredrin in the past so far.
Yeah.
Are any of those fits, or are we looking for something new?
I think it still fits here. I'm going for... Okay, they're on the fighter. Wow, they go straight for the counter to the Fanny, and this is two birds with one stone situation. You get the Freya locked in as well. Whereas one of Freya's main weaknesses is getting team CC. If you look at the CC that BTR have right now, the Valen, Sora, and Ape down. So this should force the Freya to go Purify wherever it's going. Because we also saw the Freya Flex yesterday. I haven't played at XP with Vengeance. A lot of options, a lot of approaches as well, alright? The composition is to make the formation of DOI United very uncomfortable, right? The far sticking up all really as well, knowing the dog is around, so let's see your second phase. TR. Again, try to limit the rumors. Yeah, I don't know, so I think take there with the Highness. We got to catch a mess, honestly. You know, they usually need to stay. The Highness is the best option though. When you have a Freya like this, you just want to go in together. There, though, I really think they're going to start nailing down on it's over class kick. Whoa, interesting. I thought the jungle hero would really get targeted. The fact that we already saw the Baksha band down or the family picked up. Maybe they were thinking now just has too many picks up his sleeve.
I think they're also maybe worried about the mobility with the Fanny house, right? If, let's say, BTR go for something like the most, what is the Fanny target? I feel out of the maybe they're trying to layer on that, but technically BTR, they still have the option to go fighter in that gold lane.
They do, and with the Pagan here, I really feel like they can still flex the Sora into XP, and I can throw it in moment. I think Esmeralda is not bad just to counter the Freya in the gold lane. If we really want to do that, right? Let's see. BTR last brand is going to be another label or do they respect the XP lane? I guess it's Sora. That's quite fast. No, it's a chunk straight up. So they are looking for some big movement of the heroes. They don't want to get locked down. I wonder what's it going to be from BTR.
Oh, wow, look at that fun fact though.
Yep.
Baron's Fanny has a 100% win rate from 4 times being picked up in MDL ID season 12, so just the previous season of MDL. That's my confident planning first pick.
It still feels kind of iffy for me in the upper stage, but let's see how he performs on that Fanny. But yeah, I think with the Joe and the Hylos, what Bigetron is trying to do is just they do not want to lose out on rotations, right? Hylos Joe very fast with rotations, and there you go. They decided that let's split the prioritization, we ban the Moscow, and also the Freddy that definitely can cause trouble in the composition. Yeah. I think Suyo is an okay choice, the Leomord as well. Those are two options you can go for. Last year, they pick it up now because they want to use the Sora flash all the way to the end. Yeah. Okay.
Just technical Sora can still go
Up to what the United picks right here. XP for kid. Yeah, for artillery. Just need more bodies, right?
I think block.
block fits, they need crowd control. It's actually so well,
Building's kind of iffy.
there's a battle with teams. Take that. Very good combo. Very good combo. Arlet and the Guinevere. And it's a Guinevere roam. This is the first Guinevere roam we've seen this season. It's been Guinevere jungles all throughout day 1 and day 2.
If they can pull it off, the combination will be disgusting.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a good marksman game, man. I would want to go marksman against this kind of composition. Did they go Esmeralda? Did they try to just go and dive? Yes. If they do, the only real guy that can burst you down on the Esme once you get to the mid game should be the Farsa. But again, we already have plenty of time to evade from it. As I say, but they go Houston should go to the end. Whoa! That's a marksman against the Freya. It's not the worst matchup, bro. I just run Farsa.
Esme would have been safer.
Esme would have been
in the lane.
for sure, but I guess they're thinking maybe the damage would be lacking, right?
Makes sense.
Valen is a bit more utility, even though he's doing a lot of damage now in the early game.
So if you had to sway, which way would you sway?
I think this is a very 50-50 draft. I mean, really, it's a team fight draft for both. Now, do you want a brawl? Not even a 51-49 minute goal. No, I think it's down in the middle. This is really good for both. I like it.
But straight in the middle. What do you guys think back at home? Tell us your predictions in the comment section, because it looks like it will be an action-packed game. We're looking at the counter index rating, but typically, even since yesterday, we haven't seen too much of success from the lineup rating. So, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the debut of the Dark Horses of NPL ID Season 17. Let's see how they roll. Let's see how they perform in game number 1. Mobile Legend.
It'll be very interesting, folks. Iowa United, their debut, going up against three rookies that won MDL last season. Don't forget 2 veterans still now and soon to keep it stable. Aldo mentioned this yesterday. It's a really good option still, man, especially with the flicker, right? In the jungle, it's a very dimensional image. It's very visible. You can see it, the spatial migration, and that's it, right? But with a flicker, it changes things. Spatial migration flicker, you can really catch people off guard, especially in the dangerous grass map.
Anything catching your eye in the emblems by Bayou?
Nothing too crazy. I guess just aggressive play stuff together, but that's pretty common amongst did their own. Dragon Hunter as well. As usual, just dominated in lane with his signature Arlet pick.
Yeah, that's something that we forgot to mention, right? Arlet back on the hands of Ken. We've seen what he's been able to do. Very great with momentum-based heroes. We saw him great on the Alice as well. So this will be quite a test as well for Lynch, as he also makes his debut here in that EXP lane. It's one of the lanes that we should look out for as well.
Yeah, another thing to mention for me is Lynch has chosen to go concussive blast. He knows that he's just respecting the matchup potential. He's just going to try to go for the clear and then rotate faster with concussive blast instead of going for the trades against Kim.
And with flights number 4, we're waiting on that moment. We already see some rotations coming in from Nile as well as Finn, looking to open up the map just a little bit more in order for them to set up for the first natural objective, which is this tower. But they don't fire, they don't go through.
Which is freezing. Top lane. Put Nile up top now, bro. Let him stay there so they get fire over it. Number 4, quick for Lynch. About him sounding baby though. As well, early, that's going to be early info from bigetron that essentially Iowa United can fight total with 5 members. Let's see how it goes. bigetron has to make this. While he's off with early feather strike, right? Off shot. Clive jumps in. The terrified. Once it's up to use the flicker, leading up out in the mid lane. So careful, right? Zuriza will be forced to use that flicker now. Now he's still hard to maybe below 50% HP. Will have to be position as this will be a slow turtle take.
Yeah, they both completely reset there earlier 5v4, but we saw Climb suddenly rotate towards the turtle as well. Nice setting, good positioning as well, enough damage to hinder Dara. But now it looks like Dara is restarting the turtle.
Yeah, really fast as well. It's very risky to take those fights, right? For this year as well. They bring out 2 flickers, and they also had some big ultimates. And the combo, what option? That's the combo. Up to finds first blood. The first kill for Iowa United.
Unfortunately, Finn tried to cancel that, but wasn't quite in range enough to able to do so. We see some rotations coming from low. Wait a second, what is that?
Good one, that's going to be loud. Very low phantom speed. Popped it as well. The bigetron will lose another member. They are really just going for these cookouts, man. That's spatial migration coming in handy.
Time prediction in by Go Play. 2-1, 2-1. Of course, BTR goes for Vitality. Still confident?
I'm pretty confident. It's okay, you know. The scale is going to be on their side, if I'm going to be honest. But PTR, luckily they didn't lose too much. The gold lead isn't that far over. Oh, Wessa. Oh, very good. Fantastic initiation. With the follow-up as well. Adds that to the tally.
This is beautiful, right? We were talking about Moza pre-game, talking about his performances so far, the way that he's been able to improve. He's been very active around the map. So, in conjunction with seeing Guinevere Rome for the very first time, he's been able to land 3 assists because of the way that he plays and allowing Daryl to hold on to this gold lead now, 1K and counting.
Yeah, that's the combo I mentioned in the draft. When they pick up Guinevere with the Arlen, Arlen trying to cash into the power record. Oh my god, these flip-offs. It's just too beatable. For what United and bigetron to pop the Phantom Steed, it just is on the way. That's not a good sign for the Red Robots.
So clearly now Daryl United are in a position where they're mobilizing around the map a lot quicker. What's the answer for BTR?
The thing is, for BTR, the answer can only really just be fight, right? The composition is built to fight, so if they don't go for the fight, maybe just decide on them. In no man's land, and the second chair should be Dewa United. It's 5-2, ladies and gentlemen. Dewa United, they're reading bigetron like a book.
So what do they do? I mean, right now they're just dying one by one on the map. They look for a proper 5v5 team fight. Is that value BTR?
Right now, it's still 50-50. Again, that's why I said for Dewa, they can still take these fights. They can also go for the pickoffs. For BTR, I think that first total, challenge a few of those skills. Maybe I could have just gone in and gambled, but I didn't want to do it. But now, those things are picked up so many times, picked off everywhere. It's a lead that you cannot ignore. So in the 5v5s, they will have a big advantage. Lynch is 2 levels down on Kim. This is the level that Kim brings to the table individually in the lane.
He was rookie of the week how many times last season? Oh, Kim, again, really showing his performance, his mechanics as well in the lane. And if we're talking about the lead that Daryl currently is holding, unfortunately, some of those skills are given to Maybe. And yesterday we were watching back in the talent room, and Aldo calls for a gila. So for a crazy mode. So when Freya gets ahead, when Freya gets the value, gets the resources, very difficult to take it down in that fight.
Level 10, Fan is still able to get out from that one. Just a reset though. We play their lead. They off the bottom side here. And seems like live washes just so we hit. Good items. Real quick. We take a look at it, and this battle being built up by
Red Team Turret destroyed.
600 gold lead for the Freya. Up the seas and straight into the Norfolk War very quickly as well. Going to be picked up by the boys. It's just a straight up lead, man. There's a lead everywhere on the map. The biggest one is obviously Kim. Lynch has already started rotating, started grouping with the team because he knows he needs to look for these big sets for the team. And Kim is just finding all the benefits from that, pushing in the lane, making Lynch lose even more XP and gold from these turrets up top.
I think it requires just one round, right? Because, oh, wait a second, what's that?
There's a finds the perfect opening. Down goes now. Maybe in the back to the right of cars out. They want to retreat bigetron. Not enough firepower. Just Dewa United finds the last turtle. Now they want to close the gap. They want to fight. That's a stun. And force use the clip there as bigetron. They are rumbling.
Dewa, Melissa. Looking for these opportunities even before BTR can react. And I really want to say that we're on this BTR, they have the tools. I know they're behind right now, but it feels like maybe it takes just one moment or one combo because technically they have the Dukung, right? They have the sword, they have the Valentina, they have the tools, but Melissa somehow always finds these opportunities before BTR can even react.
And that's due to the dangerous grass and flicker, right? For the Guinevere, if you're in the jungle, you can't really, it's very easy to read that. Well, maybe not very easier to read that, but with the flicker, you have to constantly be there, locked in to try to react to it. You might not even be able to react to it. That's why you have to go purify. And the thing is, BTR did not bring a single purify. They were all ready to try to react to it, and that hasn't really paid off. Look at that damage from Octa. Is it all? And it's a defensive item on the second part, right? Usually he's like punching built up after going on. No, he's still building a safe ball just because he's respecting BTR's die potential. This is what we were mentioning earlier in the draft as well. Corsa in the mid game should have a lot of damage, yes, but it would be very difficult to get a feather airstrike if the game's equal or BTR is ahead. The thing is, it's a 6,000 gold lead, yet still Octa is playing it safe. He knows all he has to do is survive. The shot's not be good. Where's that? It's on the water. And that was a quick decision by Hawaii United. Took about 5 members intact.
I mean, I think they're starting to read the pattern. The fact that Mitch was able to get out of that is important. Maybe that's their plan now. They're going to try to use Thor as bait.
I don't think so. I think he's the main initiator. I mean, the thing is for BTR, it's 6,000 gold lead. This is a horrible spot to be in for BTR. But they will have those 3,000 meters. So one big step to turn things around. It's just when can they find an angle to actually look for those fights? Right now, if they walk up, they're going to get pushed down, and Rez is going to engage first, and they could 6,000 gold lead, 3 more for no contest. No contest. And they have to recline 15 to at least have a chance. 15, what was using Gen 15? I don't think so. I don't even think that's something they could utilize. Using Shin's damage, it's pretty good. But against this tanky composition, the only way you can really shut is Octa.
And the problem is even when he does it, I feel like YSS is kind of a warrior hero. So he has to put in a little bit of a little deep, and because that spins their points, their bases, who already secured that third item.
Yeah, really chastise Cauldron as well, man. Lorenzo. That's his first item, man. Really chastise abusers. We used to have sacrificial abusers, now it's the chastise abusers, and now Clive, yeah. Just go for the melted war instead of the BOD. You can't just be stacking up on that damage. You need some more of those penetration stats, big Lord charge. If you get those, this is parlay control. Ops just that secure and try to save the bottom side territory. You fail though. You want to move on to his in lane now. Keep this distance at final slash onto his range. Under the turret by King Victor's out to safety. No! The turret damage was too much. There goes King.
Okay. I thought that was an overstep by Lynch, but technically he was still able to get Kim down. They're going to be able to defend with his hand.
Out of danger. Bigetron is far opening. It seems like they're able to keep their distance.
But they still lose that bottom tier threat.
Yep.
And that's the opposite side of the next word.
Which I don't really have. They're a team that needs to stick together, right? They're a team that they don't have a threat or a Moscow. They just stay inside and rotate around really quick. So they don't even have an assassin to do that. That's a new more that wants to fight as well. So this following face rotate is massive for Dale United. Yeah, it's only one kill. That was a miscoordination, right? Flash transmission migration. Just a little bit of a mistake, but it's okay. No shutdowns given. It's all right for Dale. It is a trade that is still completely worth it. They affected something that might have won them the game very early. And now BTR is still in the same situation, even worse. Yeah, way worse. They can't rotate, they can't go to Lord because they're the type of team now, season 17, to Lord dance really clean. And if they don't, if BTR try to complete on the Lord, Wave at the bottom is just going to crash into the base. If they try to split their team, they'll take the 4v5.
You can see it. You can see it on the map. I mean, they're choosing to split, I guess. But no one's really controlling the bottom side of the map.
Exactly, they can't. They have to stay on only like one side of the map here, like mid top or mid bot. You can't go top bot like when you have a normal marksman or a traditional sport marksman. That's why the Moscow band now, makes a lot of sense. Kalian gets you into that team fight, Tom. It's also good against the family, the Moscow.
Oh, it's crazy.
It is. I play too. But down and listen, Shindo, we've seen this last season. They didn't have damage. Oh, up top.
Nice.
Ready to lead. Now, the counter engaged by KY United, and down goes Finn. Lynch looks on the chopping block, pushes away, but down goes Lynch. Is golden. The rookie finds the quick 1-2.
Octa doing Octa things. Beautiful read. Unfortunately for BTR, they're not going to be able to get a one-up on that. And that's just going to be a fair for Dora.
That was super quick, man. That reaction, Octa, it hurt so much. My lord. It's super quick right there. I was like, you can feel too there, right? You take your influence, try to go for the lock. And yeah, no wonder, Octa still. About bettering second item, you still be very respectful. You can see the level of awareness that he has. Man, Coach Wright, what has he been feeding his players the last 5 months? Yeah. Oh, God, man. I wish we could see it all the way from the bottom, man, so we could see, like, just how far you went and how quick your reaction was. Maybe just look at that part of the map, saw the concealed thing.
That must have been like a split second. They said it's good. I think it was most improved player last season. So he's still showing that level of performance. Yeah, here we go. That's the push.
Oh, that's good. Down, it's an engage without follow-up, and down goes Finn for nothing. It's just a delay. The base wide open, ladies and gentlemen. Clive in trouble, no minions for now. Riza, for the final to finally slays him. So take a look at the main base. That's going to be Where's that taken down. Very small privilege. Down he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, the debut for KY United, it seems like will come to fruition. 1-0. The Apostles of God.
Diagnosis of MLID season 17. What a performance! It was clean. Of course, we saw that moment with Kim, but like you mentioned, it didn't give too much over to VTR. 15-minute game, 6,000 gold lead. It looks good. It looks good.
It was amazing for Dara. That was critical by them, man. Surgical precision in Dara United, right? All from the early game to the late game, it was fantastic. Really. The combos constantly with Kim and the Valoretti of Weza, the constant pickups from Weza, the reactions, super quick from Octa, super quick from Weza as well. Some of the attempts from him, they just couldn't land. They couldn't find the right time with the follow-up with the rest of the team. And you can see, however, the map here, again, this is one of the times around 4 minutes in. Final slash into the Valoretti and into the specialization from within the bush again. It's here just never knew what was getting them at the start of the game. They really stages passed well, and even here, they were ready for those the similar engages, right? When they were ready for those engages, we saw earlier here in the Lord over at the base, it was okay because ETO is super stretched out, small apart. They couldn't really react to those kind of plays from them, and I guess in that situation, Cody was just trying to be the distraction, right? Maybe trying to give the team more space, more time to clear out the Lord. But yeah, that's why the rate there is horrible, that lineup. Bouncing a Sora, Easton Shin, the rate there is pretty bad, man. Well, I don't really like the Easton Shin idea. But then again, I think it's a poison kind of deal at that point. But yeah, I think that person was when he victored into Noah, that play itself, a domino effect, that's just what textbook after that.
Beautiful. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for Dora.
Oh, what? For me,
Yeah, obviously not so much, but it can be fun. Anyway, but I guess what I'm afraid of is I think only debut Dora in a really good early season.
Yeah, this is
so I don't want to be too excited for Dora. So I'm just gonna stay quiet.
That's fine. Usually if you're in a Dewa that really early in the season, so we really could just call it out. The Dewa that won early here, they played discipline. They were dominant. It's unlike the Dewas you've seen before.
So this is a good thing for them.
I think so. That's our slot for real.
That process is real. Because even before MPL, I do begun, like people will say like, "Oh, we're so good experience," and then I think one of the highlights that I heard, but I forgot the name, was he mentioned about the team fighting. Like, yeah, that was very strong. Do you remember who said
I
that?
remember who said that, but I remember saying that.
Yeah.
Team fighting was amazing, and you could see how good the team fighting was. And we didn't really get to see a lot of the team fights. Most of it is just like the pickoffs, right? And the moves. So I hope we get to see more of the team fights in game 2. If BTR steps up, maybe some of the rookies had to shoot the GR. They take a bit of the jitters in game number 1. Who knows? But in game number 2, they gotta step up. They gotta pull the trigger. I feel like in the early game they were a bit too soon, considering they had a team fight coming themselves.
So this was the winning moment. We saw that in the review earlier. I'm gonna see it once again. Almost they talked about the combination as well, right, during the drafts?
Yeah. The combination of him with Arnold is really happy because once you use the final slash, you can just go that record. You don't even need to use the spatial migration anymore.
And VP, you did an English broadcast too, right?
Yeah.
How the song? So who is the MVP presented by Infinite? It is Reza on the debut Winnerville Zone. 83% complete. That just shows how active he was in the game. I think those already highlighted a little bit about the items, fastest very early on.
It's just a really good game from Wes. And fun fact, he's also the shot caller for the team. I got that info from Kim. Thank you, Kim. Thank you very much for that podcast. Listen, it's not a matter of very few words, but very concise. And just like Moza, very concise as well. I'm very surprised by Moza this game, man. He was using the plays, and he was also just mechanically going crazy. In the past few seasons, it's been him on like the characters, playing a lot of the other picks that were less mechanical, or whatever he went on the show. Sometimes he's good, other times he's that good. That's just because he's still adapting to the shot calling role. Now that he's finally, fully adapted to the shot calling role, it's looking very good. You can still, go with those mechanical picks, plus you can shot call for the team. There's only one mistake this game, and even then, there wasn't really something that was turning point for the game. It was just Kim diving in, miscoordinating the final slash with the spatial migration. And that's it. Looking at the items here.
So the drafting phase of the game number 2 presents a regular official to by Infinite. The kind of does get banned out though, but stuff.
Interesting. And also, bigetron, they went for the same approach, right? Regardless of the fly, regardless of on the blue side, still box shut so they do not want some crazy mass rotations. Son, really bad out the Valentina. Yep.
So it's the story setup, right? Number 1.
For the first pick is that BTR literally just telling Noah here, this is what we want. This is what we want to show the floor. And I'm afraid this should be the sort of first pick. It's a what? Third line? It's a third pick. We just want to go for that board is the question though, right?
Put it against
Number 3 years, right? No?
seriously, the unseen word.
The winner goes and that's a lot. Wow. I'm expecting BTR to go for the lead here. Instantly go after quads. Okay.
I don't think it was banned, right?
It vanished. Now that's
exactly.
probably the best choice to go for in the current meta, but BTR, they're feeling it, man. Maybe now is like, no, I don't want to be on those immobile picks. I want to just go and flare it out. When the Guinevere is on the other side, it's very difficult.
Is it easy for Lancelot to dash out of his abilities?
Yep.
I think that's the only reason they go for that.
I think right now, that might be it. I think he might have just been annoyed about like the cheap CC box on it. But honestly speaking, I think that's not literally like his second phase. Other cards here, so it's on a bigger one. That's like they complete their first phase with the high loss, so it's right balance here. Opposite cards.
Alright. So flex for the Guinevere, we're lacking on movements. That's something we want to prioritize as we get into the second phase, considering BTR hasn't picked it up.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you can definitely still go for it here. I'm just wondering, hey, what's talking about? Exactly. That's good.
And so Lancelot is okay, right?
Yeah, if you want to switch to 50, you can do that. But I think they want to utilize the Guinevere as a flex pick, no?
That's true.
So maybe just pick up a Guinevere first. Let this flow of times and never mind. I'm confident in this game. Alright. So we picked up once, by the way. That was the last game. And we go straight through it now in the first phase. With the Guinevere. That is still flex. And it can still work, whether it's in jungle or low with the Arlo.
I mean, I thought maybe they would want to be for something like Balloon, considering the high-risk pick. I think they'll help there in their maybe.
No, I don't think they really. The group pick is great when you have more than just a high-loss to target, right? If there's a utility jungle as well, but if it's just a high-loss, the Lancelot gets so much value, you can just jump into your backline. It's very difficult for off-time. On the Harris here, after picking up the Lancelot, the usual suspect for gold lane would be a magic damage dealer. Right now, they would have a mid-lane as well. And it's not quickly the mid-lane plan, and it's like, so you might be looking to go for double fighters. The things are looking, it's but after that performance from him, it's your background's not convinced as well. Okay, there we go. What's it going to be next? With no Tyreth not already. Let's still try to lead into the double fighting by batting it out, or just going straight for the mid lane. Because if you ban one bit, they have that 4, then it's time to have the mid lane. Put Musa in a tough spot.
The one that goes for you anyway, right? If they go for something like Zepion, Lilia, something that would be rise in popularity.
Yeah, the Lilia could be an option if you want to, if you are anticipating the fighters, they call the extreme double fighters, if it really is a good. It's also very safe against the last hour, much safer compared to the forces you really. So we'll see about that. Could it be last pick though if it is a Lilia? Because I don't think BTR want to go for the Lilia themselves. BTR's trying. Wait, I just realized. What did they ban Uranus? There's an island already. That's the thing. Look, the John's not convinced that where else would it be in jungle? In jungle, the things that jungle extinction. Yeah, that's a very deep, stretch for BTR. Like, banning a race that it could be something that they know something about. Just now, honestly, might be the Glock gets banned out though. That is a good ban. Now that is possible, right? The flex of the Guinevere could be a Glock into a Guinevere Arlet. That is a nasty combo. Then you have the A with a Claude, and then there's a 10. Could be great. I wonder what it's going to be. Do they want to fight the Guinevere all the way to the end? If they do, then they go for the mid lane. It's a 10, Parsa, Lilia. I'm not too big a fan of the Farsa here. Many more ways to die for BTR. They are confident, 100% win rate on the Farsa, by the way, S17. This is looking crazy. The lineup, 100% on Arlen, 100% on Farsa. BTR, what's the answer going to be now? That you have the Farsa and Arlen, one of your end.
Maybe that's why they're playing Pricey.
Yeah. They don't want another flying over to the far side. Yeah.
You go Zepion here, but I mean Zepion has that passive, right? That when it jumps, there's enough time.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also the Sora. It's still shit. Now this game, I like the Eastern Chain a bit more. You're going to win in lane against the Claude compared to last game. Last game was just a tough matchup. It's a 50-50. It's not really weird to take the risk against a Freya. You outscaled even in my opinion.
That was the last pick for Dura. Any thoughts, please?
It depends on where this interview is going, man. Have enough AOE, have enough lockdown, but
maybe they need someone in the front line?
Yeah.
Yes, they seem to be.
Yeah, this I don't. It's good, bro. What is that, blue?
Oh, Green Jungle?
It is blue rum, it is a green jungle. Not too bottom to blue in the end here. But there's no other choice. Is there no other choice?
Clock was banned, Uranus was banned. Would you go for some, would you stretch something like Minotaur?
Nah. Is this just like... I really wonder why. Like, ducking on Hyros, is it? Because it doesn't look like it's a Lancelot, right? Is it just pure Soul? BTR 1 lineup rating last game, by the way, right? So, yeah. As Aldo says, this is irrelevant.
This is irrelevant. Think like Coach Aldo, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head over into the longest dawn for game number 2 between Dewa and BTR. Can Dewa close this to 0? Or can the rookies from BTR come out on top? Let's head over. Straight in.
Dewa United looking for a clean sweep victory. And the guitar looking to score the party. Kind of already very aggressive in the positioning, but just shut out himself. Seemed like almost similar to game 1. We only saw 2 spells being the flicker and the retribution. This time on very thin. Yeah. Strategic, yep, really good. Let's start picking up. And through the emblems I'm looking at, I'm glancing over. And this is crazy. Everything's pretty normal because the last choice once again for Lynch this time, you know. And I was already giving him the in the shoulder. Hey, sir, you gotta go in. You gotta look for the 12 to 10.
That damage, that range. That's why the Zeppelin is such a pain to really go against, especially in the early game, no matter what you're on. I think one of the only heroes that can kind of level that out, in my opinion, has been...
Oh, no! I'm sorry! Opted to use that flicker. That's going to be the demoralization onto his Nano. Not level 4 yet. Another pull, another damage, and that will be enough for Nueza to take now down.
That's what everybody calls on the internet, Gratang Amlahan. What do you think about that?
I mean, being out 2 flickers, it's still bad though. I agree. Oh, that's going to be another set. Down those names. It was very equal. A few seconds ago, Dewa United suddenly shift their gears.
I can come down, no recall again.
And no flicker on camera, so he has got to outgo this one now. Already level 4, looking to cause havoc. And the Dolan finds a turn. Kim will be taken down, but that's the only trade.
That tempo can immediately change real quick. I didn't get a chance to really unbox what Niall did there.
Yeah. I tried to go with the kill on off beat it out the flip stage short, but then he got caught and he missed the skill. What? Hold on.
Do it again.
Oh, not the damages yet from Niall. That's really possible. But economy-wise, bigetron, they need it. Yeah. He's very leaving from. I think it's the gold at the bottom lane sometimes that is really getting him in gold. Right now, again, yeah, it was a mistake for sure from Niall. We tried to look at the kill off that. Was also flickered, and then we have Kin getting a kill up top. I'm still trying to look at the moment because it was just a big lead by Kin as well to stay over against Niall. He got pissed off in the end, and it became a trade that should have been fully in favor of Dewa to somewhat okay. In the end, it's still level on the board. Dolan's doing a good job. He's constantly going in. But Clive should be more than this. Against the Claude, he's very hesitant to just go for the trades, it seems. And he doesn't get the gold crab even. It's maybe he picks it up. The rookie jitters perhaps, right? And again, it's on the field and the United swings a goal just a bit. 30 seconds, we might see big fight again for both. That's going to be the punish strike. Finally secured by Clive. Okay, item check. Still up plates rush. Again, this time for Mirza could be the chastised Baldwin for a second. VHS is going to be the first MVP here. Yeah, nothing too crazy again for both of the teams. It's really just the standard start to the game. Just let's see how this tournament is played here. Yellow United only ahead by 450 goals and still contested by BTR.
Rizzo has great runs, so I don't know if that's going to impact the game. Okra has also brought it up. Let's see.
Post below 50% of the screen. That's what it is. He's trying to using his oh my goodness! Lynch finally finding a set. Finally, all down goes up top. That's going to be the recovery. The repositioning. No one finds a kill. The baby with the AOE blazing direct fire collects the kill and the turtle. Ladies and gentlemen, they are United this time around. Will not find a set to fruition, and that's the tie. That's the damage, and that's what it is. Pushing up the killing spree.
Beautiful, beautiful. 5-3 now. 1,600 gold lead. Early the tempo was on Dara's side, but Noah's movements have finally paid off. Lynch as well with the fact that he was able to get that bonus. That was huge for BTR and that momentum too.
Yeah, that's why I'm not really like the group pick, because especially when you go split, right? Now it gets so, oh my god, Octa. Okay, now it gets so many more stacks on the puncture. They can stack up everything. Once you fully stack up, one final execution plus a throw rolls, Octa's dead. And I saw the built up damage there from the fight, especially with Rorax. Just stack that up while stacking a puncture.
That's just something I'm having a great game. I mean, even disregarding that moment, wait a second, there it is.
That's the great pick off coordination there. Maybe with the blazing duet and Going United finding a response.
Yeah, that's two ultimates they're doing out. They're going to be able to try and zone out that bottom side of the map, but it looks like they're still should be able to clear. Don't know if they still want to commit onto that. That's a lot of time on the bottom side for the
they know Octa doesn't have the filter, so they try to use that. It's Clive's now in the bottom lane. Oh man, I don't see. Oh, he's gonna get thrown on. So guys, rotating down below. Clive's low minions. Good clear, good recovery. From 4 to 5 needs to go back straight up again, man. Turtle will spawn back up now. BTR the ones with the lead. Lynch. In that fight, he was still late, man. He's been late constantly to the turtle fights. I think sometimes he just needs to give up on the wave. It's okay. If he showed up earlier, I think it would have been a similar result. Luckily, they still pulled it off, but Lynch needs to get used to the tempo of MPL.
Well, he's moving now.
Yep. He's on now, trying to turtle. And low 50% HP now. The turtle. Oh, that's an opening! That's a federation like Kid finds. No! Oh, that's like the turtle. And just like in one, Daylight United finds the domino effect at turtle 2. 2 members off the road for bigetron. And Lynch will fall as well as Ken finds the connection to take him down. Kid's very low. Oh! It's just a free kill, man. No flicker for Ken. He's trying to get close, but Rizzo just spacing. Seats are still keeping the lead at 300, but that was a phenomenal 5-man great engage again. And he was able to steamroll through, catching Niall, who's been recalling, signature Niall recalls, but yeah, Joe definitely got pissed off after that previous fight. And again, I gotta say for Lynch, he just keeps on waiting for Dewa to engage first. On the Sora, I really think he should be the one to go in first. They have a few of the Phoenix as well to combo it, and it would give Niall so much more room for his pace. But again, Lynch was waiting in the turtle. He was actually behind Niall instead of walking up forward. And again, in that skirmish, even though he rotated quicker than in Turtle 2, he was still later than Kim.
Alright, so you are sensing some hesitation coming in from Lynch. Let's see, after this 8th minute point in this game, if anything changes. But again, I do agree, man, Dewa is so clear with it. Oh, okay, still being able to get out of that. Kim unable to open up that engage. Jolene, I think, is looking for that moment, but in the end, Dewa have their eyes on the objective. That tower is going to fall in the hands of Dewa.
Now it's back to the game. This is we're going to see more from Dewa, man. There's not a team that would just go for random fights. After they get an objective, they want to just go and chain it together, right? Once you get the turtle, they zone in, they group up together, cut the lane, and go for the structural objective down below, the turret, tier 1. And then they cut top as well, you saw earlier. Now it's Lord, and they're going to just do that again. It's just all about objectives for Dewa. Team fights, yes, but team fights for objectives, not random team fights across the map like we used to see from them.
Okay, but what are we waiting for? Are we waiting for sort of power spike?
The VTRs?
What those?
For Dewa, we're waiting on them. He's not even online yet. He's already 004. He's getting a lot of gold in his pockets, man. So once he gets the corrosion sign, he's going to start doing some big damage. He's just going to have to be careful even Clive. And again, Clive should be the one ahead of this matchup against the Claude. You're not going to have as much consistent damage as a Claude later on in the game. And you're going to get outscaled, man. You're going to have to try to like outscale. And right now, it doesn't really look like he has the capacity to outscale. Maybe he's looked really good this game.
It looks like he's already involved as well in the setup for the next objective. Resort Dance has begun. I saw an item being built up by Riza as well, the lightning, going for a little bit more damage. That should help. The fact that the range is huge as well. If they're going to be able to set it up properly within, that might be a problem for Noah. Let's see if that happens.
In now, isolated in the front, looking for cover. Good enough now. The damage is not there. That's big. Crazy nuts. He's able to get out. Still 5v5, folks, as the Lord has already spawned it around a dawn, and both teams looks for a reset. Why doesn't the combo feel like it's hitting there, though? Because we saw the Fury of the Phoenix, and then we saw Lynch follow up. Yep. But that combo just didn't hit properly, right? Yeah, it's supposed to be Lynch who goes in first. Really, at this point, they were aware of it, right? They got caught by it once. The second time it could have landed, just went in first. So when they saw that BTR had an angle to go in, they just started splitting up. That's why it was difficult for Lynch to go for even the Flicker. He hesitated on the Flicker because he knows he's not going to find more than 3 members, or even 3 at that point. What's he going to have? Keep in mind, Octa, no Flicker. Bigetron must keep tab on this. That's going to be happening. Featherless right pops. Rolling now. Real. Able to position. Both teams again. Looks for a reset. Yeah, after utilizing a feather airstrike, so I think they're looking for a reset as well. Kind of pushing that top lane first. Lynch still there on standby. I'm talking and thinking about this bottom side of the map. Looks like they have some Clive to handle it, but yes, the Swift Trinity picks up now. Yeah, I don't know. That's just. I mean, some shit down below is not a good idea. Oh, they're going out here. That's going to be the top out here. Okay, Lord Owen still able to clutch that retro. Good Trinity with Kimbo. Now it's going to be a 4v5. Bigetron, the one that goes out the distance, will be able to do so as Lynch will be the one to fall away that survives. And down goes Owen. Suddenly taking that and maybe collects the double. Table 3 trade. Della pick up the Lord. I'll try to go for the swift movements on the Lancelot, but unfortunately he got taken down in response to that. Problem is now maybe still alive, so going through these turrets will be quite easy for Della. As the airstrike opened up, I think it's a half worth. It just looks super messy for PTR. They sent Clive into the bottom lane to want to fight, so Clive was late. Yeah, much damage, and he came in as the team was dead, right? But then after that, he couldn't go in. Now he's left alone. Oh, again. Ladies and gentlemen, here I am united. 2-0 in the South, definitely top base will be the first one to fall here out of the 3. And they're going to play it differently. Clive hops the mountain shopper, but down goes the mid-turret. That's the Bigetron focusing to take the Lord down. Feather airstrike is here. Has been secondary low for top of the no, baby! With the wind of nature, looks for an opening. They will defend their bottom base turret. That's 2 inhibitors taken down there. Yep, there's a far lane. Yeah, the Lord's going to be spawning on the bottom side of the map, so again, if they... I mean, we saw how previous escape as well, that it didn't work out according to their plan as well. Clive sent to the bottom side, and now it's going to be even worse because they don't have the inhibitors turret on the opposite side. Did they send Naya this time around? I think at this point, it's GG. Oh, I think it is. Firstly, I think it is. I really think the morale of these rookies is starting to waver here, especially for Rich, man. He's been late on so many fights. It just feels bad, you know. I don't know. His debut up against Ken. I don't know if that's the best choice now. After seeing it, letting Clive debut against maybe, letting Lynch debut against Ken, possibly like the best individual XP laner in lane. Lynch got cooked in lane, and everyone else, Monza, Octa, everyone's doing just such a good job this game. And Nature's already done for maybe. He can do whatever he wants, man. The Milford gun very soon built up as well. Lisa's promising though. His positioning is great. The spacing is amazing. The usage of skills, the itemization. I mean, it's just a classic build. But all right. I think for Clive and Lynch, they're just way too passive here. They're just way too passive. Yeah, for sure. Right?
But yeah, so this particular game, it is looking quite difficult for BTR to look for an opportunity, look for a comeback. I think there is still the combination that we were referring to before between the Sora as well as the Zekian. Can we look for it? Is that something that we can expect? You can see Dewa have adapted to the role. They're not pumping up against one another. They're trying to prevent that combination from hitting. So it is not just BTR unable to look for these moments, but Dewa United are also figuring out ways to make sure that it doesn't happen.
The first 3 turtles in the first lot, I'd say yes, they'll still have enough damage with that combo. Now, even if they get that combo, I don't think they'll have enough damage. I think Dewa have already built a proper item set hit against it. 4,000 gold lead, Wind of Nature as well, right? So Baby's not going to die. Golin's tanky. Molezi's tanky. Kill's very sustainable. Opti, sure. Opti can still die, but he's not going to be caught in it. I don't think so. He has much of a crown.
That's mixing it.
National top earlier. Lord, my goodness, that's a start. Oh, man! That's a start by bigetron. Really not so maybe in the back, looking for a kill, but he will get shut down as Ken. Tanky enough. Collects the double. It's very messy to Clive in, even with immortality. One of my time for his steal as Dora United will shuffle their damage onto it. Spin down goes the horse. And in the front line looks for a kill on towards Lynch. Lynch one hold on. 10 seconds for Lisa, but it will not be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, a sweet victory, a sweet debut for Golan as they collect the 2-0 victory.
The Dark Horses of MPLIP Season 17 have done it on their debut match against BTR. Clean, super clean. GG, Nico.
Man, that was your goats. My goats, still my goats. My goats still. They're rookies, 100%. We have excuses. I know, that was a learning curve. It's a very, very, very tough lesson to learn. Tough watch indeed yesterday. But let's see, man. Let's see. I mean, Albert is still very much in form. We should say name, by the way. Me and Albert.
Yeah, I wanted to say you. Well, you are in form, I guess.
It is just really don't want to be. Who you think is the best jungler in Indo right now, bro? That's what I can. Okay, let's keep the vision jungler. That's what we gotta get on now.
While that lost that died under his heart for 10 minutes, or
Level 3 lines one. Repeat the second best team in the world. Put that out later.
crazy boundaries here. Luke and Ron, I think that will also be a really highlighted matchup.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Luke, did you see what Luke did yesterday on the back?
Oh, technically, Master in that lane, it shouldn't have been an easy win for him.
No, that lane is completely. Well, he also didn't really fight because he knew, right?
Yeah.
He just trusted in his team that he could just wait for the shortcut, and he did, and he got the shortcuts in. Like I mentioned yesterday, chip games are dictated by how the first shortcut gets used. You use the first shortcut, you get the advantage, you get the snowball, it's going to be great. Yesterday, similarly enough, the only chip first shortcut was horrible, and they ended up losing the game, right? Because they were just completely laid out throughout the game. And basically, what all that means is if your chip gets read out in the early game, you could all the way to the late game, man. Because the early game is where it should be more difficult to, figure it out. In the late game, the stick is fine. You just check these bushes.
I'm really listening to TLID, but the cavalry seems in high hopes. They're chanting, they're supporting their team. So are the EVOS fans. So let's take a look at the random map draw now. It looks like it will be broken walls as we get, ladies and gentlemen, into the drafting phase. Presented to you by the official tournament gaming phone in Phoenix. Which will be prioritized? Which will be banned? It looks like the respect goes through. Last round banned out by TLID. They can't go Rangers.
Wow. EVOS are doing it again. EVOS are going for first pick Tammy again. Look at the Kalian and the favorit span straight up. We saw this from Daryl earlier, and we're seeing it from EVOS. Tammy hasn't really been prioritized in the meta. If you have a player like Albert, I guess, not usually known for the family, but yesterday he was clean with it, and he's full of confidence this season, man. He knows that his team has the potential to go all the way. Yesterday's performance definitely should have to convince that, I think we should somehow be aware and just be here going up against Albert with our Fanny. And you mentioned the Fanny, it's so open. TLID got to have something to at least anticipate this pick.
I mean, if we're thinking about pure Moscow instantly, right? So possible. Would you go for something a little bit more secure in the jungle, something like Fredrin?
I think right now the idea is they're going to trade the Fanny for Juicin. They're throwing that out there, right? That's what the man they use. If you also get the Juicin, you don't have to go for the Fanny still. TLID get the free Juicin. And I don't know what it is with TLID. Hardjab is has his ways to get Juicins constantly. I don't know how rare it is to get a Juicin, bro. You know how difficult it is to get a Juicin in a high rank game? Especially in MPL. I don't know. Hardjab got the mind control, bro. He's had ritual on the Juicin so many times, but EVOS, they responded with the same combo. Got that Selena as well. TLID. They go for a red 3 soda. They go for the Moscow instead. Instead of thinking about the bigger picture, going for maybe more of a combo, and go for a Moscow. Good against the Fanny. You have that side control, and as you mentioned, it is a comfort pick for kill.
And this makes me question again the same question you were asking earlier on. Is kill just not okay with fighters in the low lane? Because technically there are options now, right? There's other heroes that can utilize in the low lane, but I still go for the Moscow. Well, there goes the Granger.
There you go.
So this opens up a new hero for Erwan. He picked up the Claude yesterday.
I think achieving the house back next with TLID first. Landing out the Arlet is pretty good. Juicy Moscow, putting the pressure on the closer there. So good read by EVOS. The fact that the Green View, I really thought the Red 3 would either be Sora or Frederick. Just because they already ran out the Green View and then the lead, right? So again, it makes sense to take that out against Juicy, but also it's usually a good pick against a Frederick too. I tell you, really thinking about the last band though, I thought it was just going to be a very quick out of band, just because right now they don't really have any burst. And it does look like Harrod can really take over his game. And instead he's on the carry. So this changes things. Maybe you still just want to go for the Virgin. Maybe that's just the answer, right? Virgin, perhaps a powerful Boxian. Yeah, we really want to go fast. Boxer Houston's pretty good, but I don't know. Then what will Aran play? Hey, he played Benedetta yesterday, by the way. Game 3 where he won. Yeah. So, I mean, imagine if you see the compositions of EVOS, technically they have a great speed, right, of composition with Fanny, Selena, good map control, but if you look at the upper side, oh, very fast as well. That's going to be the quicker band. Also, they're really worried about the counters of Fanny. Question is it just overthinking? Are they overthinking right now? I think so. There's a hill there already. We haven't seen it flex to X speed, but if there's a team to flex to X speed, probably ACL. They got on. I guess they got hill to X speed. Season 14. So maybe good read. Maybe good read here. Right? It's just a prevention. You never know. You never know what TLID. They're kind of shady with it, man.
So in this case, would you go for something safe still, like a Frederick first? Or do you want to go for something wild, like a high?
I think at this point you've got to set up for your XP lane. You'll have a good matchup there for the last pick. So yeah, I think picking up the jungler is the safer option. They don't go for the Frederick, however, just because, again, we have a Moskov now, and it's a Juician, right? So it's a late game hero versus and a utility hero in the mid lane. You want to go for additional damage here together with the Hilda so that you can really chase them. EVOS. What's going to be the answer now? In the goalie, I really still feel like the Harrod is the answer for everyone. For the XP. Man, this is hard stuff, right? TLID, really good move. So if shows are everything, but then the Valen comes off with TLID, that's why.
But you should know
Go for the blue instead. What's the claw, by the way? I'm not too sure about the claw, because now the Sora can come through for TL. I think Sora is notoriously pretty annoying to deal with when you're on quad, because your ultimate can get cancelled out by the knockups. The constant knockups, a lot of knockups in here for Sora. I don't mind it at all. If you already go for Sora, then great. If you go for something else, like, hey, favorit? Oh, it's not. Yeah. I just think Sora. Imagine the composition, though. All 5 heroes of EVOS can definitely dive on you with the quad and Gulak too. So I think they just want to blow it out. And TLID says yes. That's fine. We bring up the Yutong. We can create parameters, but we'll still be strong team fight wise, especially Turtle 1.
There's not a lot of tools, yeah, for TLID, because they picked up as well.
I think they have a lot of tools actually. Like, this is almost guaranteed turtle every single time. The fight is not going to be able to contest at all against a Yutong. That Yutong pick is actually very, very good for the turtles. So I'm expecting TLID to actually win the early game
if they can manage and execute it properly.
Yeah, but I actually agree with the lineup getting maybe not 10.0, but I am leaning towards TL over EVOS.
Alright, let's see. Both views. TLID on one side, with EVOS on the other. Once again, they're coming off of wins. Momentum is on their favor. So the enemy's win streak will break first. Ladies and gentlemen, as we head over into the land of dawn for game number 1. Welcome to Mobile Legend.
I'm excited. Keep in mind that EGTZ is debuting his MPL stage today. We saw his fellow brothers, BTR MDL brothers, earlier, 4 of them. His best performance here, and that's 5 members of bigetron, technically. And for EVOS, the CC that they have is pretty strong. Oh my god! We talked about this early aggression of EVOS. Now they're picking up that first blood. It shows signs of TLID. The game do not want to do this for free. They will find a trade with rumors coming out.
Should be a trade from EVOS, utilizing the pressure that the family can have in the early game, but of course, Addition in the mid lane also means that a trade is imminent, especially for the frontliners. Let's take a look at the emblems now.
I love this adjustment by Airline here, and then by Bayu. With the final emblem with Festival of Blood. Notice that this matchup isn't really the best, and there is a lot of kill pressure later on in the game too. That's why I went to the Purify out of CC for kill ID. Everything else seems to be quite standard though. Doesn't really look like there's anything too crazy. Again though, prediction first.
By Gurkhas. Yeah, you're right. Unanimous. All for EVOS. Even on the Indonesian desk, English desk as well. Split 2-1, but all for EVOS today.
We're also fans.
I'm so fan right now.
I'm a beast tiger. Beast tiger. Hey, Aran gets the XP crap. This is great again. This is already going to be doing. What happened? Why is he so low? That's a steep though, so definitely can recover for that first. So let's say it gets easy though. Posturing, looking for the top finds it. We only take them down again. Now, with the 5v4 Moscow in the area, if he wants to go in, seems like he can lay loose under the turret, taking a couple of turrets, and that will be enough for Crucial. Taking him down. The time is at total 1 is still up.
I think it's a good comeback. Concierge, very really good energy coming from EVOS. Let's see if he was able to get something out of the throw, aggressively invading the jungle. Not the best of situations for him to look for a steal onto the orange, so he does refer back to his own instead.
I really think it's still a mistake. I think he's. I don't know if I'm mistaken, but even the one traded if you flip it to your ID, it's a Leo mode, and he moves on against a Fanny. It's a Justin and Hilda. They have Diamond, they have Mario Top, we saw already, I'm level 4 first, but they. Kevin was low, but he had regen. And regen, but then he went straight to Orange. Alvin is so confident. Almost a level ahead here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, turtle 1 is still up. So, yeah, it's still very even Stevens here. But you mentioned TLID should be I don't know. Ronson or Dragon player. So we don't like real house. Oh, I like going back to replay. Hasn't been. Well, because he has the old. I thought he missed taxes, level up stuff. So that would make sense then. That's why you don't go to it. But no, he has like from Manic all the way. Why do you like he's so afraid to utilize the conflict base? This is beneficial for the assassin. Fanny is much more mobile. He can go and clear. He can go and soak in, as much XP as well and poke people. They try to bait out the top on top. They managed to do so. Luke now will be abused. That will be a pass, and Luke taken down twice. Should open up for the turret. Let's see LID. I got TV though. Just for an opening. The fire chief steal. Only very low. Oh, I got TV with the revitalized holding on. That will be the turtle for TLID as they use the defensive retreating. Looking to find an angle to survive barely. No! Finds it smart. That's going to be a kill for TL.
Beautiful speed right kill there. Luckily for TLID, despite the hesitation or the passiveness of that early game, they were still able to secure that first turn of the game, and they get a kill over to kill. GTL also played that quite aggressively. Pretty similar to yesterday, I believe he was on the Zushin as well, and I think he got the MVP on the Zushin. I gotta double check on that, but there it is. The item check for the first 5 minutes.
Gorgeous fights, right? He wants to participate in the fights, man. And for airline, it's the VHS first. Usually, when you want to be more active, you go to the gorgeous fight first. If you want to be more, safe, play in lane, you go for VHS, right? Like, just for sustain. But in this position, you need to do any matchup, so understandable. Kevin, really good in my placement today. That could have been really bad for airline.
Has been destroyed. But either way, he still moves the entire on the bottom side of the map. They go for a swap at this point, or do they stick to the lane?
I think right now for airline, he needs to stick here, right? Maybe he rotates before the turtle swap. Oh, he only that's a taunt. I got TV finds it smart here. The only open one, if that TLID, they can afford that loss.
Yeah, it's tough, huh? Should be fine. Still able to get out. Still holding on to that 1,700 lead. More turrets, more neutral objectives. The next one spawns in 10 seconds. How do you expect this one to go?
I think it's pretty similar. It really should just be TLID where you have the advantage. I don't think they've been playing the way they should, but it's been working, so hey. But it's even support with Kevin and Albert will find the Albert Gianino who wants to fight against easy ice on the front day. OG canceled. That's gonna be Leone taking down first. Now technically it's a 5v4. As Luke will figure out the way. That's a great knock to fight his show. Will they have enough damage though? The answer is yes. TID will find that trade. Luke will be on it.
Oh, Richard's getting hot. Okay, should be fine. At this point, Richard should just be a Sky Piercer.
I think so. I think that's what he's building towards, by the way. He goes for the elegant gem, glowing one, and now he's on the Sky Piercer, right?
The gloves.
203, you see the gloves. And yeah, well, this isn't bad at all for TLID. The fact that most of the jets are actually, all of it is already loaded. The rest of the team has been doing a good job. But the fact that he was blitzed earlier, see, this is what EVOS wanted the game to look like, actually, right? They don't want the early game to go crazy for TLID, which I think should have been a bit more likely to happen. If they maybe by this point for TLID, had they controlled the first turtle earlier, because now look, we're not even going to see 3 turtles. It's just 2 turtles, and we're going to get straight floored after this.
But even if it gets to the late game, how does that favor TLID over the second Richard?
Just clean the tables, do the quick right by in the mid lane, and they will lose the structure as well. Top EVOS, they have found a solution. What was the question there, Turner?
Yeah, well, how does this favor EVOS more?
Because they have a quad, they have a fan, they can split people up, right? And it's going to be very difficult for Jazz to handle these 2 guys. The fact that they also have an engage tool that in the late game is Selena with the Gata. They have that combo. This is a combo that I'm starting to feel like is an EVOS pattern now, because they played the Selena Gata with the Sora yesterday. Now it's Selena Gata with the blue. Anyways, it's just PC constant. It's kind of like if you landed, you're cooked. You have to disperse, right? And when you isolate these guys, when you stop them from going for these full team fights, when you don't have a proper backliner, it'll be tough for TLID to brawl it out because they don't know who to target. Aaron has Purify, Fire Emblem, and Festival of Blood as well, so yes, it's fine, especially once he gets the Innovator or a Winter Crown. Victor finally picks up the Sky Piercer there. He needs to be much more careful now. Keeping the damage is safety now for points and mega. 2-man mobilization now forces a lot of resources spent into ideas awarded. Is already in the area. The Moscow first top. But EVOS they have one target in mind. Back up to the Lord. One so EVOS disengaging flippers out of danger. As TLID fails to find a trade.
And the pickup. You're talking about the early CC when they're starting to see that, right? As soon as TLID hesitates, that pickup really comes through in for EVOS. Albert goes in, has the damage, has the kill pressure, and makes the playing field uneven. So right now we do see that TLID for kill, especially consistent fluidity. Hopefully that can help, especially with the load still on the way, as we take a look at one point over by Lupe. Throughout his NPL and major career, Gleam for Luke has a 77.27% win rate from a total of 22 picks.
That's hot.
That is.
That's what gave him the nickname Luke, man. That can give some really good stuff, man. Whenever he's on the blue. He's always very fast to put up the house, man. I think the Sora is one of them as well. He's fired with the Valentino. He didn't play the Sora in game 1. He played the Valentino. He stole the Sora, basically was a better Sora. You guys are scaling up really well now. Sure. Actually, he's ahead. So that's the winning condition for TL. They can still clear very quickly with Kyo. They can still fight with Kyo. But they gotta be careful because he didn't bring Purify. And let's use the second skills and have no stoppers defend.
It's just how Paulie want to fight with the resilient spot as well. Oh, now reposition against as he jumps in as a real land. Who should very well will be taken now. And after the TLID looking for a trade, they find correctly. The TLID they have enough damage here as Leon is very low and he is able to find a double kill. A 3-4-2 resolute as hello.
The crying emoji as well. People to trade in favor of EVOS, and unfortunately, Drew was not as able to be in that team fight because of the early trap he was caught in. So he was caught in half back, needed to clear the lead a little bit more to get that whole back up. And at the end, he also got hit by the trap again. So Drew has been a huge problem for a kill right now. Despite the item build, despite the long reaching this rapidity, if he's unable to participate in these team fights, it's still difficult for ID to take these team fights in their favor.
The way they got a team fight is they still got to defend the Moscow, right? The Moscow team now is like it's situational. It's only space and just it looks like he has to use the sides when you're up against this competition. Like, just think of the position for Airline though. A lot of the favorites, I think it's targeting as well. While everybody was hitting on the road, he was poking Kyo down, and that's why Kyo couldn't take the SOD. He actually just died. And the discipline too. I think the old Airline would have just went in, he just would have chased him down, maybe even died. But pretty slow. He knows Luke's gonna get the kill. He's here as much of not the kill, but mainly to deal damage, right? If you want kills, that'll be the danger.
I noticed the economy just slowly shift in favor of EVOS. It was initially a 1,700 gold lead, I believe, for TLID, and now it's down to 1,500 for EVOS, and they're the ones that actually set up first. Our vision as well with the traps that Tricky can allow. They know exactly where everyone is. Alfred also, if he wants, can go into clear the lane.
That's a great start. That's the OG with the final. Take a look at the damage now. TLID. Wills who might have hold on, but they barely survived. They got Alfred though. No retribution in hand. Because it's doing crazy work under the Lord. And EVOS can they recover as Kill. Risho and Kevin is just hitting as EVOS. It looks good for a second. But the response from the Cowboys was better.
That's 3 members taken down. It's a to even do anything. TLID had completely turned that around. Mirko, what happened?
Oh man, the entire fighter. Hunted outplayed Airline. And Airline not used to win in nature is the question I have in mind because Airline just got bombed. He did not expect the damage to come through like that. They just literally got stomped on, curb stomped by the big horse, Kevin. 3-0-6. Holy damage! I thought that was the perfect engage from EVOS. You know, the Russo Orlando, the AOG, and it's literally what I said earlier. That combo they could go for is render and arrow hit. No. Now the grab. No football buff. Or family as well. Definitely hinders Albert's.
What happened? What happened? The Lord's on the way. It's going to jump the top side of the map. I remember, so he was not the best player either, right? I mean, I do have Emma, but other than that,
Or lacking. And with the Lord charging top, Albert trying to hold on at the start of mobilization as well, but they will lose out on the boost to the top. Now, TLID having a firepower as the win is later. 6 of them are no longer needed instantly. Now, 2 numbers of EVOS gone. The race wide open. TLID all they need to do is just to chase down the base. And ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes ago, EVOS, they were looking great. 1 moment is gone.
just 1 moment. 1 moment. All that makeup for EVOS. And TLID turned it around. And it also went back down to that road fight.
Quite speechless. That stunned me. I think it stunned EVOS. I think it stunned the players back at home. not weak at the early game. Maybe they're just gods of the late game. What? Okay, that happened twice against Navi, right? 3 times against Navi. So, okay, maybe Navi, maybe Navi got that throw at them. EVOS, same thing happened. Now, if it happens again in game 2, I think we can tick that off. We'll check that off. Holy moly. That losing is ridiculously deep. Yesterday, it looked like Navi were making mistakes in that gave I feel like opportunities here. Until I think we're just outplaying EVOS in the late game. I want to see that last fight again because really that's the only one I didn't catch. How do you turn things around to play? Here, let's go. Joe was so far back. Richard was also untouched. Joe was so good this passing. And Kevin, my lord. Wow.
Kevin surprised so much.
He wasn't there, man. Yes, he was alone in front with the Yodi, I guess, but yeah, he was, for the most part, just, oh my lord, that was impressive. That was very, very, very well played, man. Wow.
I'm not sure.
Wow.
I don't know, because we're going to have to wait for our MVP real soon, but sure, Q remain consistent. Spacing and the team fights was also really good at the final Lord fight. The positioning was great, he was far off, but if Kevin didn't do what he did, would they still have a run? Is the question.
I think the perfect scenario happened in that fight for the side of TLID. It looked bad for just a second, right? Around a valid target, I gotta say, landed the arrow, Performer POG, a one beat, which rounded out of the Lord's contention. Very valid reason. But yeah, I think the positioning was again perfect. Kevin finally jumping, I think he hold off 3, 3-2. This perfect scenario happened for TL to turn things around, and after that, the domino effect was, no perfect for Albert. The Lord is coming in.
They have no race clear.
No race clear. It was just a clock. Just one phase 2 taken off top is more than enough for, the best to be the main target. I'm so quite speechless, dude, because that was good. That was really good. But it wasn't even throwing, because yesterday it really felt like that we were the ones overstepping, taking
And were you?
They were the most, especially for that one. Wow. I put the 9. I would put the 9. Everybody. CV, Adri. I think even Donnie would put up 9. You look at the roster. I put the mid last place. They were stick, wow. The last place. Flex. Focus gets banned down here. Are we trying to go for Harris? Is that what they're doing for you? The focus banned here? Alright, maybe it's just strike down because he would have a chill, right? Possibly. This is very confusing. What? I don't know, I think it's Flex. Yeah. Overthinking, overcomplicating. I don't know. Text to XP, I guess agree. Maybe. I think we just have that front line, right? And then until I think we just play the normal game of, alright, not losing the early game, try to trade, it's a race game.
Can Suyo go, right?
Suyo can go too, yes. There's the Olive man, the Fredrin, and the blue. Now this one is because the blue is flex, LID, last ban coming through. You didn't want to ban out the Herod. It's the Herod thing is something that you need to care about. Herod does a good job against the Herod. If it's such a good mid laner that can be Farso. So deal with the Herod. I think that's what let's say we're looking for right now, right? It's already banned out the Ranger. But that means that we're get a very timely guy in that speed.
There's the Uranus.
The Grok, don't even Uranus against the guy. The Grok, Joe is already picked up as a drone.
So you can risk it and go high rolls, all that blue and carry.
What XP do you go for? Someone that can like.
Do you want body or do you want utility? That's what I'm saying.
If you go body,
Alice.
maybe just multi. And the Alice is a pretty good shout if you want to utilize the glulets. You can heal up for a lot. It's the same problem. There's carry. They can melt you. Oh, this is tough. CC. Against the glue, against the Fredrin, understandable. The TLID can still flex the glue. That's the thing. And he only has shown that he can break glue wrong. Putting off had full damage on the glue roll yesterday. This composition for me was a little bit outdated. I don't really like. 3 months ago.
I think they needed an answer to ask a Fredrin.
Yeah. I really think that they should have either put the glue early or they should have just secured. Or something like that. I don't know. Is this CC flex? Is that what they're trying to get at as well by picking it? They're like, okay, we can put a goal, we can also put an XP. It's gotta be the only reason. Let's see, TLID. What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be? Yeah. I expect the rolls. And Sora will go XP. TC is still a pretty good matchup against Sora, so they can keep that lineup. And Eve comes in here. It's really good to zone the Kumi. The Suyo, just go quad again. They go Valen. So the flex of the CC goal. There we go. Yeah, okay. We were trying to bait out for the Sora, and now we. That's why we picked the Kumi. We wanted to go double fighters. Like we did Mage, XP. Okay. It all made sense in the end, actually. So, we were ahead. But I still don't like the fact that they didn't go for the glue. It would have been perfect against the Fredrin this time.
You have to side.
This game, it's a bit tough to say, but I kind of lean towards EVOS, honestly. With the double fighters, it's kind of like Navi yesterday. All you need to do is just stop the early game. If you stop the early game well enough, then you just win. Don't make mistakes. But if you make mistakes, then again, it's the same thing the front to back of they can come back.
So we'll see exactly if they're going to be able to get that comeback, ladies and gentlemen, as we head over into the second game, into the land of dawn, to TLID, 1 point down, just another finish the series and pop off in the standings.
Boy, oh boy, EVOS, 1 game away, 8 games. We're suffering their first loss in the season. Let's see with this composition. I thought it's outdated. But with that last pick, Valentina, maybe they have a chance to turn it around. And then check. Booster for Luke, concussive blast for Arana is going to look to rotate quicker. But let's see if they actually go for the turtle straight up or if they concussive blast. Support everyone. Wants to go for the heroes, wants to go for the King's history again. It's just a rock. Inspire as well. Support everyone with Inspire. Wow. That's a good inspiring. Put yourself together for Churchill. So he's expecting to overtake to flicker in the times, man.
He was being aggressive on the Jushin. And he's trying to, adapt that same template of play style onto the Eve, despite it being a little bit less mobile, I would say, as compared to the Jushin, and a little less safe compared to the Jushin, considering the emblem that he also went for on the Jushin.
I'm giving over the gold crab. But Ego is going to try to poke kill a little bit more there. Luke obviously winning out of this matchup. A bit terrified too. Roni has to help up top. Evan as well. That gets the XP crab. The Turtle one looks to be in TLID's books this game.
I think some really Will he be able to participate?
Probably should be able to start. I think it's far quicker. He was already there. Iran is at one climbs earlier. Oh, that's a good. Mobilization option. It's over EVOS. Now Albert in position as Kevin looks to focus onto the turtle as Luke will not be able to distract. He will fall as Kevin finds the turtle as well. The last is EVOS this time. They will be able to disengage.
I was about to say, I want to look for that a little bit early. I know he would wait a little bit more until the turtle got a little lower, but in the end, it still works out into their favor. They get the kill, they also get the turtle under their belt. This is a completely change of tempo to what we saw in game number one.
That was very well played by Orlando, by the way. Like, extremely well played. Spots out Albert in that push so early, man. And then Rachel just kept on tapping him down. He was great against the studio. So is the glue. Magic damage over. No magic damage reduction of the studio. Makes it super difficult for Albert. The only saving grace would be, Exas in the middle and quicker. Rotating faster, getting in these positions. I'm really surprised that Albert hasn't really, tried to look for ganks in the early game of the studio, because that's usually where you get an advantage with studio, right? You clear quick, you're very fast, so sometimes you're in places any team would expect you to be early on, but it didn't. He's not really looking for anything instead of just playing it super safe. Maybe T1, you're just playing it so awkward that I don't see like I should see more of that.
So how soon can they play, right? I mean, face value is something.
It's 1v1! Luke says hello to Iran this season. That's a solo.
Luke absent for a season? Is it a season, Luke?
Yeah, a whole season.
One season comes back and does that to Iran. We have been talking about the Valentina being, quote unquote, it was the better Lucas back in the day. Now, quote unquote, the better, the better Sora rather now, but still, Luke doing Luke things there in the EX lane. That's gonna push Iran behind by just a little bit.
Shout out Coach Aldo, man. He said it yesterday. Sora matchup, whoever ults first loses, right? So, hey, I'm about to hold. It's like, okay, GG, bro. Hey, got why is this set? There we go.
Yeah, leading Kevin instantly while the turtle is up. Ega will be the trade. Albert, there you go, as Iran says hello and finds a clap back. Now, Luke is repositioned, finds a trade onto his Iran, but he is in trouble. His kill is in the area.
That's another favorite trade for TLIV in the second turtle, right? They lose two members. EVOS lose three, but at the end of the day, TLIV still pick up the turtle again.
TLIV is just going bang for bang, man. Going for every single fight. It's a very different TLIV from game number one and the games that we saw against B. Like, we were just on the backseat, passing the other games, right? They're just waiting for the comeback, waiting for the power strikes. This one, carry, this is the most aggressive I've seen Kyo have to carry. It's in the early moments of the game, and again, I asked the question, if they're doing the late game, what if they actually start winning the early game? What's going to happen now? EVOS, they're going to be in trouble. Remember, they are the double fighters. They should be the one winning in the start of the game. They should be in this position. And they were kind of like gun-shy for that early game. Didn't want to go for those gangs. Didn't want to risk it. And now they find themselves in, I feel like it's grasps. Then finds a plan. This time, well, this is without any casualty money, though. It's a lot of guys that don't think this is Luke. They're very, very good position to take the all, and that will be all.
This was like a huge confidence boost from perhaps yesterday and that first game. But TLIV, really different. Do you look at the items? What if you want to bring out to the room?
Signature Leona build. He's going to go for the cursed helmet, and then he's going to go glowing one, and then he's going to go genius one. This guy is oh man, he's so annoying when he's on glue, dude. So much damage. At least he goes get the turret. Leone.
Mobilize airborne, a lot of crowd control. Oh, thinking by him. Before I get TV now, with 1 man isolated, that's going to be last taken down. TLIV takes a look at Kevin's positioning. Finds the break, finds the top. Richie will have to move on. Kevin finds the Princess Wrath. Two members instantly deleted.
That was so well coordinated by TLID there. And what an opening by Leo. We were just talking about him, how annoying he was. He was so low, so able to get grab over. But here it is, another kill for us.
One just under the turret. Sages. Now they want the ball. Oh, Milan finds the initiation. Now, Sage will just respond. SLID again. In the seventh part finds its jam. That's what he's the chart. Man, Kevin, what the heck? Where is this Kevin? He was here before yesterday. He didn't show up yesterday at all, and now he's barking fools. He's barking the white tigers. He's just barking the beast tiger. Airline, bro. Oh, Skype here.
That's not something to see quite often.
It's not something you see every day, bro. So you don't see it every day either. So it's okay. Oh my God. 008. He's not going to be 008 for long, man. This is, I'm going to go Skype here some moment. Airline. Dude, this is just cooked for EVOS. I don't know how to, like, there's no words that can be like, okay, EVOS, there's a chance they come back. But every chance they come back is, I think TLID make a big blunder. That's it. There's some absolutely blunder. They don't really have a comeback angles here. They don't have damage. Firstly, right now, that's not on the table. Okay, if Aram just walks up to 3, and he survives, and he finds an angle, and that will be the way EVOS spent resources to chop Aran's health and take the look at the pinch. This time out, EVOS is able to at least recover with 5 members.
Continue though.
If he walks up to 3, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say, okay, maybe he that enough. That's all right. Chastise.
We were talking about damage earlier on. He only has one item. He only has the Brewing Lord.
Look at yourself. It's up. It's all across. The Chastise Pauline already as well, man. They got a lot of defenses. Look at Joel. Sisters, Oracle. 2-level Jerkins. DHS first. There are 3 items. This is going to be a very quick item for kill. He doesn't get to farm and wait for his late game because he's been fighting and winning. Dang, they're getting into the. There you go. That one on for Leone, man. Yeah, even Leone is the. Oh, and I'm speed pushing, man. That's the first one. 1 versus 5. This is my power. Ron jumps in. Oh my goodness, the 3-man airborne. Now the damage here onto the Ron taunt and start everything again. Ron will be deleted as a fighter. And Luke will not be able to survive. Albert doesn't find an angle. Ladies and gentlemen, TLID destroying the White Tigers.
He was winning that team fight without kills. He came a little bit later than everyone, and when he came, obviously the damage dismantling. That's 4 members of the White Tigers taken down for the price of 1 for TLID. A 3 Lord here in the 10th minute of the game. A 6,000 gold lead against all odds, against all expectations.
Oh my Lord. Holy Joe, look at him. Just took a Lord. That's my person for Britchel, bro. The argument from Britchel, by the way, earlier when XFTZ featured on him was very, very good. Amazing RW on the castle. Any chance of an actual way to dragon kicking him over. Dude, this. I don't want to say it too soon. I don't want to jinx it, but it really feels like it's another version of a season of a season of TLID where they got rookies and then they did well. Because it was also up against EVOS, if I'm not mistaken, But like, oh my God, bro, this EVOS roster looked like a top 3 team. He's got all earned. The mid turret is very will be taken down. EVOS now will reset as they look to take the Lord down. Seems like lucky for them, it's only the mid-first turret for Walls.
There is any side lane and any turrets, but there's still 3 waves pushing. I'm not sure if I really want to push this time. It seems like they're still lurking around the area, still posturing for a possible end gate, and there it is.
Absolute elimination, perfect taunt. No! Wow! Is shuriken, and that will be the end of Iran. Also, the race here at the bottom side of the moment, and EVOS. He can't breathe. No. all we can do is delay the inevitable. I honestly don't see any way for them to come back unless Kill Ideas like dives them under the base, dude. And even then they might still win. These top Primo's, they were meant to win early, they were meant to snowball, they didn't. It's an 8,000 goal for TL. So that is not the game. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What's going on? What's going on here?
Now that's easy half HP. That's 9,000 goals lead, ladies and gentlemen. The largest gap today. TLID. Keep in mind, it was unanimous off the board for the talents. Of course, wins this match.
If they actually win this, why did I doubt them? Why did I doubt them?
Even the cameraman's got distracted.
So remember, ladies and gentlemen, as the the gold lead approaches the 10K, once it hits, we're giving away free diamonds. 10,000 free diamonds for the first 100 people, so keep an eye out for that. As it goes, should be fine, but he's denied any resources. He's denied the orange.
Easy stuff. Yes, with the moving from 6 to 400, yeah. I mean, the game's not over until it's over. I understand, but it's going to get difficult to find ways for like how they can come back. Maybe a split push angle at the bottom lane. They already got the build straight there. I mean, all the way there, right? They took out tier 1 and the 2. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm not just gonna, manage that. It was just thrown out of the way because they have a carry. They can just blitz. Or they can blitz. That's what it was. There you go. They got TZ here. Ouch. Hey, this is one of the
It is.
Wow.
Week 2, I think we should be able to, play, right? So we should be seeing changes for EVOS, but for now, coming back to the game, Alvarez, Cops.
That's the plan. That's the plan to Terrence Albert now mounted under his own turret. And he's running. Oh, run! Finds a 3-man whirlwind. And that's going to be Luke of the leader first. It's a 5v4. TLID will go for the objective angle. And that's going to go on. And that TC trying to hold on with the Lord of Archies. And ladies and gentlemen, it is all too much. It's the Cavalries. They are eating tigers tonight.
10,000 gold lead at the very end. A team full of rookies plus Aran, plus Kevin. Second season here in MPL. Number 9 across everyone's power rankings. YSS Freya also taken off. Usually we do see the YSS being opened up, but even Sora gets banned out. How early? This opens the tuitions, like a lot actually.
Respect from RQ though. At least they've heard, they watched how Calro played that recent yesterday, and they're like, alright, we don't want any of that smoke. Ban it away. 2 gold lane bans at the start. Shows you how much respect they have for Calra, and I think think, for Cascute, for Edom, even for Yehezkiel and Toy, they know how it is going up against Calian. Man, Yehezkiel, notoriously, never was able to beat the FNOP Keller back in the day, so and Toy. So I have some PTSD about Keller. I remember him on Moscow killing Toy like crazy. So we go back now, though. Onic, what's it going to be? First pick here for them. Jushin has to be for Sans, right? Jushin is open. Phobius is also open. Keep in mind that now with Jushin, you mentioned on how valuable this lending is. It seems like Onic, I agree with that.
So I mean, first three we can save it for later, but technically the game is still an option that RP can consider up against the Jushin if they want to win that mid prior.
Right. Honestly, just go for the reward. If they're really just looking to brawl it out, they're looking to play aggressively, take the leaderboard away, right? Because you don't want to give the leaderboard juicy and maybe gonna high lows over to the left side. Could also be a juicy, Frederick Arlen later on, that combo. Onic have so many different combos to play with, so Onic, you focus on their own game plan here. I think they can saturate the leaderboard, that's number one. Everything, this priority, I just mentioned this. I don't really like seeing this early on.
I get your argument, but I feel like the remote execution is not easy for the remote.
But if you just go through them later on, put up the leaves together as well. You have these, ways to deal with it. So early on, they're doing it again.
Uzo and CEO as well now for Onic.
Very good approach on that first control. Alright, level for hands of the junglers of your enemy, and that's clear fast, was able to rotate fast and position mid-fire. So Onic, their approach on this early game is quite direct. Yeah, we want that early to snowball and end it as soon as possible. So now, exactly, like, because they didn't become a jungler, because they didn't become a liberator as well, now it's going to be difficult. Which one did they sacrifice? They sacrificed the jungler, they picked the 10 for Yehezkiel. It was a pick he's done well on back in the day when it wasn't meta. So you gotta give him that. It's great against the Juicy in lane. Pretty solid against the Surreal for magic damage. With the Grok. Pretty good CC. But what is going to be in the jungle now? Alright, cool. I think for Onic, they should ban the Harley, right?
But can you confirm if it's going to be too difficult execution?
Especially when you're going to get chances and then the Surreal gets the turtle.
Should they go an assassin? The Choban maybe shows that they might go for an assassin here.
Yeah, the Choban might only just be purely out of respect because Gabriel played 2 Cho games yesterday and won. True. I really think they should just be the Harley here. They should just set up for the Surreal success in the jungle. Not Harley. I like that. Just finish in the jungle at first phase. What if RQ break Joy? If they really want to shut this down, they don't ground first. Interesting. I didn't really expect Onic to have problems against the Claw. What do they they're planning here for Gold Lane? And are they going? Yeah, I think the only thing that comes up to mind is like Harris.
I guess it's possible. I really want to try to.
It's lost up too much for RQ. I mean, is this a good pick for Toy? I'd much rather see it in Moskov than the Platinum of CDS show. Moskov is solid.
Technically, Leo Mord is still pickable.
Yes, and it doesn't look like Oniker trying to ban out the jungle. Maybe Oniker also just thinking, we saw your Leo Mord yesterday. It wasn't really too impressive, so I think we're going to beat you out, especially again because they have a CEO. Usually you pick up a CEO up against a Leo Mord, so maybe Oniker still care about the Leo Mord. That's why I'm expecting maybe like Joy respect, more magic damage respect for the other lane. RQ, Moscow. Moscow is not bad. So I said, ban it out. So there you go. Both Moscow and Claude taken out. Ranger. We want to go for that. That's the question. I think we can jungler first. Pick up a winning matchup. Try to get a winning matchup for Toy against Shara.
So you mentioned Joy, Eileen.
Ford against Sumo. It's quite tough, but you have a Grok. You have the 6 as well. Gotta think real hard here for RQ.
You wanted to scope. You wanted to pick it, right? There you go. So the options are
Hayabusa?
not the biggest fan of that against Utah. It's not a problem. Let's just see, here's the Harley that I expected to be banned out. I can't believe that went through, by the way. I can't believe it didn't get banned out. That was the first thing I called out to be banned. Is it too much of a magic damage here, the composition of all Q? No, I can make up for it with the Granger, I think, or just a marksman.
Depends on the dude, maybe.
Yeah. What is Onic gonna pick today? I need the Moscow and the Club. That's more like crowd control.
I don't know, if you could be a fighter?
We still need Trump right now. The Harris is what I called out earlier. It looks like they're going to be a simple answer.
Carry?
They're hovering around Mason House, or the predominant on bids. That makes more sense than Korea here. There's no instant kill anyways, Maybe they were thinking of this, about the sustain of the Korea. There's the Harris of the guy as well. And lock the Holly down whenever he jumps in, maybe. Still, the Raiders might have a good time here. He does well in lane, and he doesn't get punished in lane, punished in the early game. He can be a threat, or a kill. You know what? I'm not a hater of this. I have actually been really liking the Bruno in the Corvette. I've been stacking a lot as well. I think it's great for this composition up against Onic too, just because RFU, they're looking for long fights. Onic are looking for long fights, sorry. Onic are looking for long fights. Bruno flies in those long fight conditions, and the rest of the team can follow it up too.
Do you still think that Bruno's like an early game hero? He needs to snowball.
No, he scores really well. His laning is alright. It's a skill matchup against the Harrow. So he just needs to wait. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have the mastery here. He's, farms out 2 items.
Alright. Any last notes?
Kyrie's gonna have to be careful. There's a lot of magic damage. Etienne, Kyrie, and Uranus. They can really punish a CEO if he dashes forward.
So let's see the execution. It's been composed and just mechanical by Onic so far. With their new roster, can they retain the same consistency here against the Kings of Kings in a first Royal Derby of NBL ID Season 17?
Let's see the 39th Royal Derby. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, in RQ. Still looking to find form. And what real he brings to the table here. Keep in mind, this is the SQLCP. Yeah, on the Royal Derby. That's pretty surprising, by the way. It'd be good late. I thought SQL would actually just win out that 2v2. And this time, finally, another shot take. Heavy for the SQL. This few defeaters having to flicker up more times as well. Everything else looks quite normal, but yeah, Super Pro did not go for the recognition. Instead it goes for Master Assassin. Alright. Again, not bad, but I expected the weapon mastery to be safe.
Okay, looks quiet so far. We do see some rotations once again from Keyboard. Naturally so, giving out information about the team. If we're talking about the mid matchup, I believe it sounds as overly aggressive. It feels like Yaskio might have a hard time. I think it's like you don't get shredded here. Time prediction by Goldway, and looks like a unanimous vote for Onic. Not surprised. I mean, again, considering the performance of RQ in their first match, of course it's Hera, right?
I think it's
The standard.
like a
I don't think so. It's gonna be the first.
and then a mess roll.
Absolute standard.
Number 4 for both though, mid laners. They're both already eyeing out this first tournament. Again, I need to be very careful against the magic damage of R2. Super curious though. Alright, so super jam here. 15 water damage. That's catch all that suns. After the damage positioning, Kyrie is on the turtle. You don't destroy the starty. Oh, that's a great stun! A super can finds first blood and the turtle. All due to Haskell finding the ult. After the trade of Sans will be taken down, and all RQ have more say Haskell will not be able to get out of this as Lippy claims the double, but Superman finds a trade.
On point, period, defeats Haskell on his debut, winning his first solo trade for RRQ. And the Kyrie gets taken down even before he could press that retribution.
That was brilliant, man. That's exactly as expected, no? If Kyrie walks up, super kill, super damn, the Haskell, the magic damage is absurd, man. At the start of the game, Kyrie, he really did it. He's still trying to force it, trying to go for the red tree, so we can just walks up and steals it away as it gets stunned by the Fear of the Phoenix. And that's something that they'll have to play with the entire game.
Is there like a point where he doesn't have to be as careful? Is it an item build moment for Kyrie?
Even if you go cross wins in the late game, once you get the Queen's Win, Super will also have, all those items. If he does go for the Aldo build from yesterday, he was really just complimenting the Lightning Trench in second, it'll still just be a problem. And then, obviously, you go to microwave, you pierce through everything. There's the damage reduction, the damage reduction is not enough.
The game goes from more damage Super is going to have, so I feel that. All he needs to figure out to try and do this. Wait a second, that's another breakoff for Super Ken.
Might be chance. We went all in onto his rubber. It seems right now it's a 3v situation in the lane. Harry looks for disengaged. Super Ken is able to get out of that one. Great pressure here, provided by the mid trio of our
Archie's on the tempo right now. The fact that Super Ken has his hands on the Harley, it's giving him so much leeway to get these pickoffs and ultimately giving him an advantage when it comes down to these neutral objective fights.
All respect to the Harley's advantage. They brought him to Moscow, and they got to pay for it, man. RQ did a good job with Super Ken. Doing so much magic damage. You saw earlier, it was just a perpetrator. It wasn't even the deadly magic, and Kyrie needed to bounce out of there. Keepers got picked off too. We're going to finish check after that pickoff. Calculate more on his positioning style as well. But so far, they're behind the problem that to get the position. Super Ken Kyrie needs to be in the spot. Teleportation, that's a stun, that's a big one! Now Banana goes up through. Onic finds in the end, gonna take the jumpler down. Take a look to kill.
Okay, we're seeing adaptations coming through from Onic right now. It looks like Sans is still playing aggressively here, pushing Enoch to Haskell, trying to utilize the HP of Enoch onto the damage for Haskell. It seems like Haskell still gets the purple buff, so unfortunately, Kyrie's not going to be able to steal that away from him.
Yeah, by the way, well played, T-Boy. Sorry, took it down against the Harley. He wants to try to counter it.
Red team turn!
Wants to try to find those, just cracks, his breaks over, catching him every single time before he jumps back.
So it makes sense why RQ banned out the chair in the drafting phase, banning out these, heroes that can create or stop the momentum by Onic, but Chibo is still able to handle that with the Badal. We'll see if he's going to be able to do the same thing twice. Yeah. Because so far RQ have been able to get more picks in. Looking at the next neutral objective now spawning, looks like Onic are the ones there first.
Yeah, Onic did that's such a good job, man, because now the gold is gonna do really with two turtles. It'll be like that. He can manage keyboard there. He will go down 15 seconds. That's the title. Let's go. Force to use the quick in the mid-lane now. With the huge song in the back. Oh, under the third Lippy. It's not having enough distance to close it out. This is free kill again for RRQ.
I thought without keyboard, onic wouldn't have gone for that, but they still went for it. Kelly looked for an opportunity. Unfortunately, he couldn't even get the rescue down, and they lose Lippy in the process. So they lose two. Our team pick up a title. Was that okay? Is that a big trade? Looks like they're looking for more votes.
I don't know. They're trying to find something that's a stun on towards it. Up finds it. Super there now. Quite isolated. Forced to use that purify. And that will be it. Man, the goes of Jakarta been doing work. Yeah, he's been amazing in this game. But every time the Super Tour, I believe he tackled Lippy right as he dropped down from the Dragon Ball. Right, that's why he couldn't catch rescue. A very underrated part about Bruno's skip and the real stun that stops you from chasing, even if it's just a millisecond. It is very annoying. It staggers you from it, stops you in your tracks, but I understand what Onic was trying to do there. They saw some of the resources, not a lot, some of the resources used up for keyboard. They didn't want the keyboard trade to go to waste, so they tried to go for a trade themselves. Obviously, it didn't work out. I'm still pretty impressed though. It really feels like, the artists of the past ready to teach and have built a turtle, but it's only 700 KB.
What do you think about the item there from Sudokan? It's double penetration.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid choice because, again, I was thinking Sans is very durable, people as well, and Lippy, so he wanted to just go through it before they even manage. Maybe he just noticed that Lippy got radiant armor early, so he wants to chop them down. Instead of the lightning trench in second, he goes for the Genius one into Divine Glaive. Very spell. Interesting. I'm a fan of Super Toys though. He went the fast counter. Very low, so we're going to hold on though. Finds extra life as well in the mid-lane after that clear. Tempo gone down. Economy almost balanced. Yeah. Going back to the bottom of Super Toy. Hans Claus usually go for Berserker's Fury second, but the laser Berserker's Fury the third goes for the Milk to try to instead use more range. Those that are playing from the back, and needs to try to match your head skills range. Even when the dragon comes around, right? One thing good about the Bruno, especially once you have more massive gun, is you're able to hit the Muzan while he's flying in the air at such a far distance before he actually comes down. So by the time he comes down, it should be half. If you have enough damage, especially once you get to Berserker's Fury, it'll be even more troublesome.
And also the longevity and the range of stands on the Jushin is quite underrated.
There's not one to back. That's a big resource spent. That should signal to left on it. Back off. Keep in mind on the kill. Out of the woods just yet. Very methodical game this is, man. Not the brawls that we expect from the usual MPI games.
It's a nice change. It's a nice change. Duplicates are on the top side of the map. You can see that he's trying to put some pressure before they go through the reserve dance. He actually walks down. Is he looking for keyboard?
Yeah. That's pretty nice.
Keyboard's the only one who can stop it.
Wow. Let's see what they're eating for spells at least, right? They know that their spells are still active, so we want to keep tabs on that. I like the instant adaptation for Kairi, by the way. Why does he die from Turtle 1? Is that okay? I understand it now. It's tough. I can't walk up like that. I can't be forcing. So that's why we try to hide for as long as possible, try to sneak in later. I can't be going up against yours anyways.
Okay, there you go. That's dragon.
I'm trying to play the trigger at least force all things that is back away. That's too bad. And the petrify allows Harry to get the Lord. Boy, Super Toy taken now, and that will be the glass. Onic focus down on the drop down. That's a big knockdown, but the damage will not be enough as Eva finds the fix there. Super Dan trying to distract, is able to get out. That's a very, very important Lord. This might swing onto the outside.
That timing is just so uncanny, right? You think as Lippy opens up the black dragon form, everyone's too far away from one another. There's no way we can look for something. I mean, the minimum we could do is just give over information, and then Keyboy comes out from nowhere, is able to ult in two members, and then it's just GG for RRQ and Onic pick up that Lord. What a dance by Onic.
Man, I'm more impressed. Yeah, the dance was beautiful by Onic. Really good fades back and forth as well. Keyboy opening up. He's been caught so many times, right? And it kind of created the illusion for our kind of be able to one-shot Keyboy every single time. But the reason he's now even more aggressive in opening, despite dying the first 3 times, is because he really built the radiant armor, right? The first few times he was Thunderbolt and like a few components before radiant armor. So now he has radiant armor. He's confident that he can go through. But also, props to Super Ken, brute force, because the Keyboy caught him once. He has to go for that tenacity out of the CC. Right? On the side of Matthew, Lord is not taking down this yet. Jump off here at the Phoenix Fine Score. Now, take it down, Keyboy again. Looks for an opening. Oh, I feel they restabilized. They defended their main base, but they will lose out on the bottom side. Super Ken, very aggressive. Another final closest gap just yet. Keyboy very low, so they're able to survive now. Super Ken is for an angle. Not finding it just yet. Sands here trying to provide damage. Let's see, quite low as well. Kyrie now jumping over free as well. Kelra just having force. The damage is not yet enough to take the members down, but he got caught isolated. Kyrie secures that kill. RRQ, they went back and forth, and finally they will disengage.
Tower star down in favor of Onic. Items are being built in by Onic. That's a divine glaive now in the hands of Kelra.
Right there, the chant force, that's a stun, but it will not be enough. He will be traded. But that is going to lead the Keyboy under the turret, and he will fall. And it's a 3-4-2 in that exchange. RRQ, they use out of the top tier. Okay, yeah. Like an opening, that's a quick spent by your head skill. Well calculated now. Do they have enough space to take some distance? Not just yet.
Are they looking for it? Enoch and Super Toy are still moving forward. I think they're starting to posture for the next natural objective. They need to control those waves though. They are going to be pushing in favor of Onic. So we could break that down for us.
Well, Sardo such a long pressure. I was never with the siege in the bottom lane. We got the base turret down. I thought that would be it, but he wanted more. Both wanted more. Archie wanted to chase, wanted to punish after that, but Onic wanted to push him forward as well. Oh man. That was just a great fight by both the teams, and obviously better for Onic. They ended up outplaying RQ in that long team fight. Because they were able to, I don't know, micromanage turret, dude. Who's the main damage dealer on the team, right? With the SKO, but Superboy has more consistent damage constantly. Hold on, that's a flank. Again, Stun, trying to force a Purify out, but the knock-up is there, and down he goes. Onic again, tries the angle, he can tell you. He knows that he has skill, I thought Victor, but down goes the Uranus, and starts the extra couple, and Onic, the base is wide open with only the Joseph Jakarta left standing. This is his first royal therapy as he watched his main base fall.
I gotta say that was a clinical victory. I think the casting set up yesterday when they won that 2-0, but again, today shows the exact same thing. You see in the early game, Onic making mistakes. I wouldn't even call mistakes. They go through a certain game plan.
No, he's not my coach. Super not his real name. What? Super not his real name.
That's his identification card.
His full name. Super Cancelo. That is his middle name. Super is his first name. As Leo put it, first name Super, last name Ken.
That isn't really no way for artificial numbers aside from the new law.
I mean, dude, you just, at this point, you gotta play better, right? Onic just played better that one, right? So, yo, it's cool to play the 3 body damage dealers, and yet it doesn't matter. So just, you know, Ken's kind of stressed, I think. He's like, hey, I'm this high over. And I was playing for Alpha Yaguai.
Well, drafting phase, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2.
Yes.
Hopefully, this will be the game-changing moment for our team. We want to see this go all the way.
All the way, baby.
Full Series 3 games. Remember, this is the Royal Derby. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the derbies, one of the matchups that everyone anticipates season after season. Let's take a look at the draft. So game number 2 presented by the official gaming phone in Phoenix. Round 10.
They want the Sora. Oh my god, if onic gets the Sora first pick, man, onic, you already they're still beating up these shit, man. They're still like, oh my god, no, Kelly, we don't want you on these two heroes. Is it really valid though, right? Like, I'm sorry, Kelly, but you're good at everything, not just the Freya and the shit. I don't think you should be targeted. Okay, Freya, sure. Freya's kind of broken, but I was about to say, you should shoot. Give him one Herald, give him the Claw, give him the Moscow. Give him a Layla, he still wins at M6. That's the thing, I don't think like the ban is enough. They traded it. There's a Valentino ban, no juice in Sora, so another good thing Sora. I'm good going. They're ever shifting. Oh, this is traded this juice in for the Sora? Or vice versa?
Maybe there's something else. Maybe there's something else.
Are they going? Johnny, tell me, you taking over. If they're going to Uranus, I'm going to the toilet. Hey,
It's not Uranus. There must be something that they're really
gotta manifest it or it's your night.
We don't see it. We just didn't see it. Alright? We're not testing it.
We gotta manifest.
That's what we need to Coach Joe. Maybe Coach Joe.
Coach, taste the sweet, okay.
It's not going to be the Uranus. Trust me.
Please, no. Guess cute? They have to take leave. Okay, yeah. Guess cute. I will now stay. I will not go to the toilet.
Okay, thank God. That's what I've been talking about for 5 minutes. I got here for the draft.
Alright. Guess cute. You should get the leave first, man. Okay. This not the leave's gonna cook this, yo. It's your car. Oh my god. Let's take a step back here for a second. Because all cute. They got focus, man.
Mutual objective, right?
Danger.
I'm Studio. Strong. Welcome to the greatest night.
Okay, good hardy band. I like that. You know, the focus pretty good against Sora too. What's on the band here? They go for the Claude and the Moscow band. Yeah. Especially against the Eve.
Yeah, that's the Moscow one.
The Moscow you don't need to, but maybe they still go for it, right? Claude first. That one, yes. Moscow, do they need to ban it right now? Does it look like they need to? Maybe the carry ban makes more sense because of the Leia combo. Yeah. But even then, you have a need to zone the carry.
You don't want like a Yahazkiel on you?
John, Eve, juicing out. The only thing that comes up to mind is like Setian again, right?
Yeah.
But you still need a combo with the Kalea.
Oh, you're right. Time to draft it.
It's interesting. Now, better at the Joy, because it's kind of this y'all. And I would expect the Kalea to be already an answer to the Joy. So what they mean with the Joy ban is they want the Kalea to look for other hits. It doesn't want the Kalea to be passive to defend the Suyo, to look for, just a punch on the Joy. And it's a far sound.
I was about to say, no, I don't pick a farm right? But other things like they might go for it.
Right.
There's a gata.
And Sora, does that mean that Auditor is still just looking to go for the Herald view? Right, they ban out the far side. It makes sense. Why would they ban out the far side? They are looking for something else.
And they can work within the box.
Yeah, they can work within the box. They're going to have a box set up. Honestly, they'll kind of be lacking in physical damage, so it does a lot as we get into late game. So maybe I'm expecting like an assassin for Kyrie here. Definitely, I don't know, it gets a phobia still, right? Yeah. That's yeah, I mean, it's always you mentioned the Lily. I see that vision as well. Very fast rotation. But keep in mind, right? I mean, so far the composition is so so strong for fights. A lot of area of effects here from your composition. And let's see your two last heroes. Okay, the optics is going to be in the green. So one hero, technically the can stay in the back here with that Ranger and Eve. Three heroes for Monaco can definitely die. Claw, what do you pick up against the Granger toy? Do you go for the Harrow this time? I think that hard against him. Not really. It's harder against the far side. Do you still want to go hard?
I mean, Earth can purify things, right? Against the whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
there's nothing area is open, guys. There's too many bodies, I was thinking. There's this Onic Ranger at the U. There's got the Kacha, Sora, and the Guinevere. There's a lot of anti-CC against the Tsunami Slap. That's what I'm leaning towards Onyx straight up. Last game I gave, obviously Onyx last game, but RQ looked to have a pretty good answer against the CEO now. Yeah, I like Onyx. What about you, bud? Onyx. I'm really surprised, but I think I'm going for Onyx.
No bias?
Composition, I like Onyx better. I think it's more well-rounded and I mean, Twitter-wise, should see the Onyx as well, like Twitter 1.
Alright. The drums of war have been silenced now, ladies and gentlemen. The jaw-breaking moments. The moments that everyone has been waiting for here, ladies and gentlemen. The possibly final game if RRQ can find this point away from Onic. Let's head over into the land of dawn, straight into the mid lane.
Definitely straight into the mid lane, and let's see where Onic really be able to close it out and make one day 3 of clean sweep, ladies and gentlemen. Such honor emblems by you. Just a bit again, I think they are after the carry. Inspire wilderness blessing before that Lilia. So you want stuff. You can see already the pressure that RQ is trying to build.
I think something quite unique that we have been noticing about the emblems, especially for the major, is the fact that a lot of the players have been really emphasizing cooldown either on spells or cooldown on their own kit. And it's like Sans has been the same, that I've going for rough cold and I've going for more penetration, more damage, more on cooldown. So we can expect Sans to be a little bit more active, especially in this particular game. I think going back to the board lane, like you mentioned, a lot more versatility in terms of these team fights. Those are the two things that we noticed from both Super Toy as well as Kara as finally Nico's back.
Hello.
Hi.
Concussive blast for Super Dan. Instead of the base mine, he really just wants to clear fast, but I'm not too sure about the clear fast situation when Kyrie just rotates over. XP crowd for Luke. There's going to be no first. Ooh. Just needs that minute in the sun. Without playing from Sans, dude. No weirdness from Sans. Okay, that's a race.
Okay, we'll see if the Lilia comes to play. Technically, a skill on the Lilia. It's a hero he has utilized in the past. Good over vision, really good for zoning. I think it works out here for the first actual objective of the game.
Oh, that's going to be the Sora jumping in. Real world situation invested as well. Take a look at Super Dan now. Isolated. Corral control airborne, and that will be first blood. Hey, boy! Rise Eternal! And find its way onto his up as well. RRQ. Dismounted early.
Just from like the crack? Have you got that move?
That's good. Yeah, it has to be. I wish we get a replay. I hope we get a replay because that is a very replayable moment. It should be skill 1 because what else? LG? I don't think I saw an LG.
No, I don't think so.
I love it for you. It's all 4 over 3. So I would have gone there and revitalized.
Well, already a different story now for Onyx. Earlier on it was RRQ, they were able to get that first turn of game, number 1 rather. But now Onyx are the ones to hold over control. Onyx prediction?
Okay.
That's fine.
Versus exactly. It's a win for Luke even in that situation. I mean, just take a look at the instant difference, right, from game 1 to game 2. When RQ got turtle 1, the lead didn't blow up like this. I only get a turtle and it's up to 1,000. Yeah, it's with 2 kills. But the capitalization, it's instant. Sky Piercer first item from Kara, straight up, and he rotated as well. Because he knows up against the carry, it doesn't need to trade against the carry. All he needs to do is shove, rotate over, look for a fight. That's why I wasn't really too big of a fan of the carry. It's good with a combo, with the Kalea, but now with all the bodies, with a Yita Zone and a Granger, fancy that idea. Look, like, Kelly just jumps. So Tori's like, okay, I guess I gotta shove, or you walk up to the blitz.
I mean, let's just hope that Kelly doesn't go out of control for IQ's sake. Because if that happens, then everything will unravel the way that you explained earlier on. You see rotations once again from Key really opening up the map. Key drop, being caught a little there, receiving a little bit of damage. But again, Yasuo hasn't been able to do much this time down the area.
That's a con. You know that man has no fixer down. He goes! That's an opening by Luffy again! That's going to be a kill. His picture will fall as well. Finds a quick double, finds the triple kill as Luffy ascends minute 4.
Just when the highlights are on the other players from onic in game number 1 and game number 2, Luffy brings it home on his own. A triple kill in 4-0-1 right now. Pushing onic to the limits now. 3,200 gold lead and counting 2 kills under their belts. They got a Skype stack on Kara, on Granger. I was looking to the replay.
It's just perfect, man. What a fun, literally capitalizing quicker and down onto it. Just trying to flicker in. Oh man, that's just unlucky, Sans followed through as well, got the void blast in, and you can really understand now why I said game 1 already have a pretty good draft, They were able to get the first 3 totals. They did a pretty good job because they had a good draft. Onic just had to hold on. This game, I like Onic. Onic have everything, dude. And you see it, the gold lead, 2 totals, 3,600. Sky Piercer already at 1. Oh, brother. Rapid still
rapid boost?
Yeah, that's actually pretty common nowadays for Ranger.
Run faster?
Yeah, just go quick. Just really go quick, run quick, back and forth. It really depends on the conditions. That's what I always go for in rankings, but I don't always do that. You gotta think something, little thing sometimes, At least they got a trade. Destroyed. Are you up top? What is it, Mark? Destroyed. At least it's something, It is. It's something. What the hell? Gold dude, the gold crab. Oh, okay. I got it. Oh, no. What a lead. The patience. My God. The Onic Super King goes down. Luffy's level 10. Super King is level 8. That's another sniper kill. Yeah. So, you guys want to oh, wait. You guys want to how many stacks you're going to get by the end of the day? That's this is going to be the most serious that breakthrough. We will concede the mid-turn. He's already throwing his skill sarcastically. You see that art of the end? It landed on BTR's trophy cabinet. Oh, no. I guess you can do that. He's a bigetron. I know, like, cool. Oh, Sans! Oh, that's a big house. Oh, that's Gabby! Oh, what's going on? And now RRQ with 5 members standing. Will force Keyboard to use that AOT defensively for the first time in this game.
That's good, right? They're overconfident. RRQ are capitalizing over it. And unfortunately, with Kara only with a 100 strikes, he's not going to be able to do that much damage, especially when everyone's still at full HP on the frontliners of Super Jam and so forth. So unfortunately, Kara couldn't do anything about it. That 5,000, 6,000 gold lead, it's 4,000 now.
That's a lot of gold. I don't know what to say, dude. It's just stopping it. Kara's shoving in the waves. At least RQ on the board.
They're pushing the top lane.
Okay, doing the same thing.
Super Toy with 2 items already, right? He's catching up.
Oh my god. I really want to fight this. They have 5 members occupying on the bottom side now. Mobilization. Truman rolling! Now goes Enoch Victoria adding this guy future stack again. Super Dance stuck isolated. Killer finds the 2 kill. And our keyboard put by time. Keyboard holding on revitalized. Almost a 3rd kill there for Kelra. But my goodness, Sonic.
Team Turret has been destroyed.
They got Sonic.
He's at 4 stars. Now he's a VOD.
Now he's a bad god. Oh my god. Well, Super Chan, so he's going to sustain her off better. We got to look at the right side of things. Chat. Winter Crown being built up by Harry. So, it's not going to get too bright. I can't even show high. 006. Agent Kyrie. Hey, you want you guys might go, yes, they can do this. No, I don't think so. This is bad because this cult has this much of a lead early, fam. I'm going full streamer mode, by the way. This is great. I'm not even asking. That's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the Speckle left. This is streamer mode right now. Oh,
Nice to see you. Oh, shit, what is that?
super damage. What do you have?
That's just his thing.
Okay.
That's just his thing. He's not Skyler.
What?
Skyler was happy, remember?
I don't know. You said that when you got married, so you must be happy.
Did you want to get married? I mean, like,
onic in mid.
yes.
This
Run! Yes, here. Ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, you're up. You can play the 6 stack. Oh, so yes. Oh, so the now with the Lord and watching it about inside of the mess on it. You look to push more. Gold speed is sub 8K. So that's just, yeah. This is not looking good here for Q. 3-man mobilization. At that, that's going to be Super J. Very also able to get up for now. But the Lord Super J is able to survive just barely. That's just looking deleted though. So it's just 4 members left standing on it.
How did he survive that? The Super J just died.
Quicker up though. Very low. Super J now isolated in the front. Still has to get out, but they will look to take the mid turret down. Now he'll be able to go. Oh, that's Flame Cloud though. Now looks for an opening now. He has no fixer. What are you doing, Enoch? Funding 10 kills to a bet on it.
That's another stop. I mean, POD was already really bad, and now the Murphy floor on top of that. Equal 636 stacks. What do you do?
Hey, Chief. Organization is really loud. But it will, they're at this space now. They want the top turret. Oh, they want to fight. Down goes Super Dan. Oh, Chan barely survives that one. Still has that dash now. Last. He's not just respond. Oh, no. That's a kill right now. They'll get more, but they will have minion crashing onto his airplane.